On an 80-degree evening, we welcome you into Sinsheimer Stadium for SLO Blues baseball. Tonight, the Blues close out the homestand with another matchup against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Good evening, everybody. Welcome here into the broadcast booth. I'm Jack Smith. I'll be joined by Nate Mills in the fourth. We've got Game 6 this summer between the Blues and the Saints, and SLO is still looking for their first win against Arroyo Seco. It's been a tough go against the Saints, who have dominated the Blues en route to a 5-0 record so far through the first 5 games. A summer after, the Blues took 5 of 6 from the Saints, so a real flip on the head for this season series. But the Blues have one more matchup against Arroyo Seco here at home, closing out this long homestand with one more game against the Saints. It was a chippy game yesterday, a 6-5 final in 11 innings as the Saints took the first game of this 2-game series. Now the Blues aim for a split, and they're taking the field here at Sinsheimer Stadium, and we'll let you take a listen. First pitch, national anthem on the way.
Singing the national anthem for us today is Sierra Bloom. Fans, if you kindly stand up and gentlemen remove your caps, let's hear the Sierra Bloom national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, thank you, Sierra. That was a beautiful...
Lineups out of the way, national anthem complete, and we're ready for baseball here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Here's the starting lineup for the visiting Arroyo Seco Saints. It starts with Connor Bradshaw, the center fielder from Pepperdine, leading things off. Max Blessinger, who played center field yesterday, shifts over to first base today. The Belmont product will hit second. Jordan Rogers, the second baseman from Wichita State, hits third. He's followed by his Shocker teammate, Alex Burge, the catcher, who hits in the cleanup spot. Mason Hammonds, a shortstop from Tarleton State, will hit fifth. Then it's Kite McDonald, who plays right field from Wichita State, in the sixth spot. Thomas Goldbranson, the third baseman from St. Thomas, hits seventh. Then it's Preston Godfrey, the left fielder from New Mexico State, at 8. Jared Quant, the Hawaii designated hitter, in the ninth spot. On the hill for your San Luis Obispo Blues, it's Grant Cunningham, who is taking the hill here today. His third start against the Saints this summer, his fifth in total for the Blues in league play. Cunningham, the 6'3", 220-pound right-hander from Washington, has a 5.68 earned run average in 31 2/3 innings pitched so far here for the Blues. 16 strikeouts to 10 walks in league play. And he was excellent his last time out against the Academy Barons a week ago. 6 innings, 2 earned runs in a game that the Blues ended up winning. That was back when the Blues swept the Barons. Since then, they had that series split against the Riptide. They lost Game 1 here to the Saints yesterday. And now they'll search to end this one with a series split before they head on the road tomorrow. It's Cunningham versus Bradshaw, Blessinger, Rogers, and it's coming up here in the first. So a tough game yesterday for the Blues. They battled back. They had position players throw 4 different innings on the mound, all of them scoreless. They ended up giving themselves a chance in the bottom of the ninth to tie it to force extras, and that's exactly what they did. They had 2 hits to lead off the inning, then a sacrifice fly. So the Blues made it 4-4, headed to the 10th. Didn't allow a single run in the top of the 10th, which means they only needed the 1 to win it in the bottom half of the inning. But the Blues struck out all 3 times, and now they come in today after the 11th inning lost yesterday, looking for their first win against the Saints here in the summer. Cunningham continues to warm up. A hot day here in San Luis Obispo. You've got the blue skies up above, 80-degree temperatures, and the fans braving the heat. They're out here to watch the Blues. Last home game on this long homestand. The Blues after this will go on the road tomorrow for a doubleheader. Then they'll have an overnight series early next week where they'll play the Barons twice, the Saints once. And then it's back home for the last homestand of the year, 3 games against the Riptide. But we're ready here in the first inning for Blues and Saints, the 6th rendition between these two teams. And SLO looking to end up on the winning side for the first time. It's Bradshaw, Blessinger, Jordan Rogers due up here in the first as Grant Cunningham takes the hill. Connor Bradshaw, the center fielder from Pepperdine, will lead things off. 279 average for the left-handed hitter, 16 runs batted in. Cunningham atop the hill, working from the wind-up, middle of the rubber. Buries his face in his black glove. First pitch on the way. And Bradshaw takes high, 1-0. First pitch, 4:03 p.m., couple of minutes early. Temperatures at 80. 1-0 offering. And Bradshaw swings and misses, 1-1. So Bradshaw, a big run producer, back in the Saints lineup. Didn't play in yesterday's contest, but then there today, leading things off. 6'2", 180-pound senior at Pepperdine. Native of Malibu, California. 1-1 offering. And Bradshaw wraps it back up the middle into the glove of Cunningham. The long run, the underhand toss, and that's out number 1. So with 1 away, here's the defense for your San Luis Obispo Blues. It's Jacob Rulli, Jariah Lewis, Giovanni Blanchette in the outfield from left to right. Right side of the infield is Matt Mastiangelo, Sam DiCarlo. Left side, Cody Darcy and JT Ricken. Matt Spear does the catching, and Jake Bold will DH. Max Blessinger steps up to the plate. The first baseman from Belmont. And normally not a first baseman. He normally plays center field, which is where we saw him yesterday. We've seen him in the corner outfields at different points this summer. But the Saints, just as the Blues are taxed for pitching, Saints are taxed for position players here on the road. So it's Blessinger at first. He takes the first pitch fastball outside, 1-0. Yesterday, the Saints only had 9 total position players. Today, they've only got 10. But these guys are playing maybe positions they're not used to, playing back-to-back days on the first overnight trip of the summer. So Blessinger takes another fastball out, 2 balls and no strikes. Blessinger hitting .326 so far this summer, 7 runs batted in. Cunningham set just underneath his chin. 2-0 count on the 2-hole hitter. He strides and shoots. And Blessinger takes a fastball in the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1. 87-mile-an-hour fastball from Cunningham here in his 6th start for the Blues in league play. We'll see it get up there into right around that low 90s mark. Blessinger takes it high, 3-1. For Cunningham, it's about command. Had a ton of it at Washington. It's dwindled a little bit more here for the Blues. 10 walks in 31 2/3 to just the 16 strikeouts. He's a guy that likes to pitch to contact. 3-1 on the way. Blessinger lines it into center. In comes Jariah Lewis. Now he ranges over to his right, and he makes the catch. So a nice bounce back from Grant Cunningham, who lays in a fastball. Blessinger flies out, and here's Jordan Rogers. Rogers, the second baseman from Wichita State. Another guy that's playing out of position. Normally a corner infielder. Today he's playing at second, so up the middle. At the plate, he's hitting .237 with 7 runs batted in. Cunningham delivers, and Rogers takes that first breaking ball that we've seen out of the hand of Cunningham for a ball outside, 1-0. Top of the first here between the Blues and the Saints, game 2 of this 2-game series. Cunningham comes home. That fastball again off the plate a little bit outside, 2-0. Even if the Blues have some concerns with the strike zone, if they're not too happy, they got to be careful. They had Jacob Rulli thrown out yesterday. Dean Traynor got into it in the lineup card exchange today. Blues have not been happy with the umpiring here as of late. They are not happy with the Saints and the way that these games have gotten chippy between these two opponents. So we'll see. Emotions were at an all-time high yesterday, and we'll see if it carries over. 2-1. Rogers swings and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Cunningham a strike away from a 1-2-3 first inning. Again, working from the windup. Pinstripe uniforms on the Blues, the navy and gold on the Saints. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cunningham stares in for his sign. He's got the one he wants. He strides and shoots, and Rogers takes strike 3 call. Matt Spear knew it. He left, and that's out number 3. So a strikeout for Cunningham in the first. He goes 1-2-3 against the Saints. As we head to the bottom half of the inning, the Blues will bring up the top of the order for the first time. Jacob Rulli, Giovanni Blanchette, Jariah Lewis coming up when we come back on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the first here from Sinsheimer Stadium, and the Blues are coming up for the first time. Here's the starting lineup, penned by manager Dean Traynor. It starts with Jacob Rulli, the left fielder who hits in the leadoff spot. Giovanni Blanchette, playing right field today, hits second. Jariah Lewis, the San Jose State center fielder, hits third. JT Ricken plays third and hits in the cleanup spot. It's Matt Massiangelo, the first baseman, who hits fifth. Jake Bull, the Princeton DH, in the sixth spot. Matt Spear, who catches from San Jose State, will hit seventh. It's Sam DiCarlo, the second baseman from the University of Washington, at 8. And rounding things out, Cody Darcy for the second straight day, the shortstop from Arkansas State. On the mound for the visiting Arroyo Seco Saints, it's Peyton Carriaco, the 6'1", 225-pound left-hander from Kent State. He's got a 3.43 league ERA and 21 innings pitched so far for the Saints. 25 strikeouts to 3 walks. So he'll put it in the zone. He'll also strike you out. And he's starting again against the Blues, one of the more reliable starters on this Saints team. Another start here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Bottom of the first, Blues will bring the top of the order up. It's Jacob Rulli, Giovanni Blanchette, Jariah Lewis due up here in the inning. Scoreless game after Grant Cunningham worked a scoreless top of the frame. Rulli leads things off. The left fielder's got a .224 average, 4 runs batted in. He's also walked 14 times. The on-base percentage much higher than the batting average would suggest. Here to lead things off against Carriaco, big hole up the middle. The shortstop Hammonds playing away from the bag. Carriaco a long hold as he waits for his first sign. Now he comes set and comes home. And Rulli swings and misses at the changeup. No balls on 1 strike. The Saints are the only CCL South team the Blues have yet to beat. So far, they only got 2 more chances. One today, one next week. Trying to do it in front of the home fans here on a Saturday afternoon. 0-1, and Rulli shoots that foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Rulli entered the transfer portal heading into this summer from CSU Bakersfield after hitting .300 in his first season with the Roadrunners. Just over 20 starts for Bakersfield, but now looking for a new home. 0-2. And Rulli strikes out swinging. So a 3-pitch strikeout from Carriaco, his first of the day, starts the ball game. And now there's one away. 26 strikeouts now on the season and 21 1/3. And you're looking at that, averaging over a strikeout an inning. Carriaco's got the good stuff. It was a changeup twice to Rulli that got him to go down swinging. And now here's Giovanni Blanchette. Blanchette leads the team in the games that he's played with 20 strikeouts, hitting .205 with 4 runs batted in. Right on left matchup, and Blanchette smashes it foul down the third base line, 0-1. Another transfer portal player for the Blues. Blanchette entered from St. Mary's this past year, where he did not play as a freshman, and he will be at Fresno City College next year. So congratulations to Giovanni Blanchette finding his next destination. So another chance for him to try and extend his career, find a place, if he can play well at Fresno City, to move back to the D1 level. 4 straight strikes from Carriaco to start the game, an 0-1 count with 1 away here on Giovanni Blanchette, Blues right fielder. Carriaco deals, and Blanchette chases the change down below. 0-2. Just filling up the strike zone, and even on the pitches that aren't in the zone, enough movement from Carriaco to get the Blues to go fishing. An 0-2 count. Carriaco set to the belt, now he delivers, and Blanchette takes the changeup this time in the dirt, blocked up by Burge. 1-2. The 1-2 home. Blanchette takes on the inside corner, strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts start the game, and there's 2 away. Strikeouts were a problem yesterday for the Blues. They struck out 13 times, and that moved their season average in league play to 10.5 strikeouts per game. It's not what you want to see from the Blues offense. Just have not been competing, I think, as much as they would like to. Not putting the ball in play quite enough, and the strikeouts, the main issue. 13 yesterday, and they all came in big spots, it feels like. Here's Jariah Lewis, who leads the team with 26 Ks. He comes up with 2 away, left-on-left matchup, and he takes a first-pitch fastball in there for strike 1. Lewis hitting .195 with a home run, 8 runs batted in on the league season. Didn't pick up a hit yesterday. 0-1 on the way. And Lewis bounces it foul into JT Rickens' red batting gloves in the on-deck circle. We'll wait until Rickens steps up to the plate, but a funny story on those batting gloves. Red is not an Oregon color, that's all I'll say. 0-2 the count, 2 outs. Carriaco continues to come after the Blues here in the first and needs a strike away from working a 1-2-3 inning of his own. Here an 0-2 count against Jariah Lewis. Carriaco comes home, and Lewis takes a slider off the plate outside, 1-2. Little bit outside, and Carriaco asking, where'd that miss? He was walking towards his own dugout before he saw the ball call. So 1-2 the count. Jariah Lewis trying to reach for JT Ricken, who's on deck here with 2 outs in the inning. Pitch on the way, and Lewis spoils it foul. A pop-up back and out of play off the fencing near the end of the stadium, and the kids scramble, pick up a souvenir. Count still 1-2. One, 2. That's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So as a train goes by out in deep right center field, Amtrak's Pacific Surfliner, a blue and gray and gold train, it matches the colors of these 2 teams. The Blues are the blue and white today. Saints are wearing the blue and gold. 2-2 count with 2 outs here in the first. Carriaco delivers, and Lewis takes in the dirt again. A changeup down below the zone. Count moves full. And one of the coolest parts about Sinsheimer Stadium, it's not the blue skies, it's that train that goes by in right. And sometimes we're blessed with multiple trains a game. Those are the best days. 3-2. Carriaco, a front foot offset, delivers, and Lewis strikes out swinging. 3 strikeouts in the first as the trend continues for the Blues. We're heading to the second. No score after 1 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top side of the second here at Sinsheimer Stadium, and we're back here on the SLO Blues streaming network. It'll be 4-5-6 due up for the Saints, starting with Alex Bird, the catcher from Wichita State, against Grant Cunningham. Scoreless game here, top 2, in the second game of this 2-game series. Cunningham back in the windup after his 1-2-3 top half of the first. Buries his face in his black glove from the windup and brings it home. And Burge takes a first pitch breaking ball off the plate outside, 1-0. So Cunningham, the Washington Husky, out on the mound again for the Blues. He's been a workhorse, 31, now 32 and 2/3 innings. So he spots up a fastball there, 1-1. The highest innings mark on the team. This is his 6th league start, 7th league appearance. And the 6'3", 220-pound sophomore getting a lot of work in for the Blues. 1-1. That curveball at the bottom of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Alex Bird, the catcher from Wichita State. .259 average with 2 home runs for the left-handed hitting backstop. 1-2 the count. Cunningham shakes his sign from Spear. Now he's got the one he wants. He kicks and fires, and Burge takes a little below the zone with a fastball. 2-2. So now the count 2-2 as Cunningham looks for the first out here in the second inning. Got to be careful to the power hitter Alex Burge. Cunningham comes home, and Burge fists it down the first base line and foul. So the count stays 2-2. Burge caught yesterday as well, hit in this same 5 spot. Grounded out, flew out, walked twice, and then had a sacrifice bunt back in the 11th. That was the winning inning for the Saints. Still looking for his first hit of the series. The 2-2 home. Burge strikes out swinging. So a strikeout for Cunningham starts the second, and now there's one away. So back-to-back strikeouts if you count the last 2 innings for Grant Cunningham. He gets Burge here to start the second inning. And now here's Mason Hammonds, the shortstop from Tarleton State. Hammonds a .268 hitter with a home run and 11 runs batted in. Cunningham starts him off with a fastball in the outside corner. 0-1 the count. One away here in the second inning. Blues looking to shake who have been really their rivals this summer, the Arroyo Seco Saints. As Hammonds chases the curveball low, no balls and 2 strikes. It's not just the 5-0 record the Saints have against the Blues. It's the chippiness, the emotion that seems to follow these two teams. 2 dugouts that like to get into it, especially when they play each other. And the Blues trying to end this one with a win. 0-2. Hammonds leaves the curveball out of the zone this time. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Blues are 3-4 since that showcase game break. 3 of those 4 losses are against Arroyo Seco. They're really the only team that's been tripping them up as of late. 1-2 on the way. Hammonds takes it outside. I mean, the Saints are 5-2 since the break. They went in losing 6 of 8. The break came at the perfect time, and they've been killing everyone, even the Blues. But the Blues have been successful across really the last 2 weeks now, except against the Saints. The 2-2 home, and Hammonds hits a line drive into right field. It falls for a base hit. So first hit for the Saints as Hammonds rounds first base. They've got a runner aboard with 1 out here in the second inning. The Saints' 5-2 record since the showcase game break is the best in the entire CCL South. So it's a tough team that the Blues have been running into a lot recently. These 2 teams played 2 times early in the season, but then it took until the second half for them to meet again. And it's just been a dominant path for Arroyo Seco here against the Blues this summer. And they've got a runner at first. Here's Kite McDonald. McDonald, a .234 average, a home run, 11 RBI. He takes a first pitch fastball off the plate outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Blues are 6-4 in their last 10 games. And again, 3 of those 4 losses are against Arroyo Seco. Long hold, the 1-0. And McDonald takes a fastball. This one's on the corner outside. 1-1 the count. Cunningham made 2 starts, 21 appearances at Washington this past year. 4.56 earned run average and 53 1/3 innings. Struck out 39, walked just 13. A 1-3 record. Pick to first. Diving back in is Mason Hammonds. Hammonds is a threat to steal. 6 of 6 on stolen base attempts. Got a lot of speed in the middle of this order. Only 2 steals combined between the top 3 hitters, 1 steal combined between the bottom 3 hitters. But between Burge, Hammonds, and McDonald, they've got 20 stolen bases. McDonald shoots it down the right field line, hooking foul and out of play. 1-2. So this is the part of the order where I think Cunningham would like to avoid base runners. There's a chance that the Saints could put these guys on the move, especially Hammonds at first, who has not yet been thrown out. Spears ready to gun down a throw in case the shortstop from Tarleton State goes. But it's Kite McDonald at the plate. A 1-2 count, 1 out here in the second. Cunningham set at the belt from the stretch. Takes a look to first. Now picks there, and Hammonds dives back in. Cunningham another long look at first as he comes set, brings it home, and McDonald strikes out swinging. So the strikeout leader for the Saints goes down on the K for out number 2 here in the second. And now the batter will be Thomas Goldbranson. Goldbranson, really a tale of 2 games for the third baseman from St. Thomas. He's only started 2 contests for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Went 0 for 3 in his first game, but came into Sinsheimer Stadium yesterday and had himself a nice game. He had 3 hits. He's now 3 for 8 on the summer. Had our RBI yesterday as well. So a nice second stanza for Thomas Goldbranson. Trying to continue that here in his third game. His first pitch misses high from Cunningham, 1 ball and no strikes. Tall right-handed hitter, played second yesterday, playing third base today. Shifting around the defense are the Saints with the limited position players. Known for his glove, but got it done with his bat in yesterday's game. Another pick to first. And really no contest there as Hammonds an easy dive back to the bag. 2 strikeouts and the single here so far in the second for Grant Cunningham, trying to end another scoreless frame. 1-0 the count on Goldbranson. Big leadoff first for Hammonds. Cunningham delivers and spots up with a slider on the outer half. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Blues have 9 games left, the last 9 days of the season. 2 off days, but then that's offset really by 2 doubleheaders. So it'll be a grueling stretch. That includes the game today. After today, it's the doubleheader tomorrow. The dog days of summer hitting here for the Blues. Goldbranson pops it up into shallow right field. Racing in is Giovanni Blanchette. Out goes the second baseman, Sam DiCarlo. And it's DiCarlo who makes the basket catch towards the line for the final out of the inning. So another scoreless frame for Grant Cunningham. We head to the bottom of the second. Still a scoreless game here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Home half of the second here at Sinsheimer Stadium, and it's 4-5-6 coming up for the Blues. JT Ricken, Matt Mastiangelo, and then Jake Bold here against Peyton Carriaco. And it's JT Ricken, the third baseman in the transfer portal, who will lead things off. Ricken hitting .244 with 8 runs batted in here in the league summer. He's been hot as of late. Blues trying to keep his bat going. Dean Traynor throws him in the cleanup spot yet again. And Ricken takes a first pitch changeup from Carriaco down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Blues have yet to put a ball in play. They struck out in all 3 at-bats against the Saints lefty in the first. Rulli and Lewis down swinging. Blanchette down looking. 1-0. And Ricken takes a slider on the outside corner, 1-1. Rocking the bright red batting gloves, which were a gift from TJ Adams. Left the team yesterday. Ricken was out at batting practice saying, "Hey, can I borrow your set of batting gloves, the extra set?" And Adams said, "You can have them." And Ricken swings and taps the changeup back into the glove of Burge. So a nice gift by TJ Adams, a departing gift to JT Ricken. The red doesn't quite match the pinstripe white uniforms, but it looks good on JT Ricken. Carriaco set at the belt, 1-2 the count here in the second inning. He delivers, and Ricken hits a hammering fly ball into right field. Racing back is Connor Bradshaw, the center fielder, and it bounces off the wall. 1 hop off the Ewing sign in right center field, and JT Ricken into second with a leadoff double. So the Blues finally put a ball in play. It's a leadoff double for Ricken, and the go-ahead runs at first here in the second. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Arroyo Seco Saints. It's Godfrey, Bradshaw, and McDonald in the outfield from left to right. Blessinger and Rogers make up the right side of the infield. Left side is Hammonds and Goldbrinson. Alex Burge does the catching, and it's Jared Quant who DHs for the second straight day. So the first hit for the Blues, and now an RBI opportunity for Matt Massiangelo. Massiangelo hitting .329, 9 runs batted in to lead the team. Left-on-left matchup. The shortstop Hammonds holds on Ricken, who's got good speed at second. Carriaco delivers, and Massiangelo takes a changeup off the plate outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Massiangelo, who's in the transfer portal from CSU Bakersfield, left-handed hitter against the left-hander Carriaco. With Ricken a big lead off the second base bag. 1-0. Massiangelo takes the changeup. This one's on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Massiangelo played yesterday, DH'd for Dean Traynor. Had a hit, a run scored, and a hit by pitch. Came up in, was pinch hit for to start the 11th inning. Blues looking to score first here in the bottom of the second. Ricken at the second base bag. 1-1 the count on Massiangelo. Carriaco pitching for another strikeout. He delivers, and Massiangelo rolls it on the ground to second. This will do the job of getting Ricken to third. The second baseman Rogers up with it, and he throws him out at first. So that's a nice swing of the bat by Massiangelo. Not a hit, but that's exactly what he was trying to do. He moves JT Ricken over to third base, which is basically the same as a bunt, something the Blues have struggled at so far this summer, but Massiangelo does the situational hitting he needs to. And now he gives Jake Bold a chance to knock in the runner from third with less than 2 outs. Bold, the DH from Princeton, a .273 average, a home run, 6 runs batted in. Bold making his first start of the weekend. Pinch hit late in the game yesterday, back in the 11th inning, drew a walk, but this is his real first chance to hit early in a game against the Saints. First pitch of the at-bat, and Bold takes a fastball outside, 1-0. Bold's been one of the clutcher hitters, if that's a word, or something that you follow for the Blues so far this summer. A left-on-right matchup, trying to knock in Ricken from third. Bold takes the changeup in the dirt. Nice block at one knee by Alex Burge to keep it in front. 2-0 the count. Walk is not the worst thing here for the Saints. It sets up the double play up the middle. You've got Matt Spear on deck, another lefty batter for the Blues. You also don't want to walk guys this early in a game. Just more RBI fodder for whoever comes up next. 2-0. Bold swings out of his shoes and misses the changeup. 2-1 the count. Bold was going for that bus parking lot out deep in left field. The fence is 335 to left. I think he was going for 635. So now 2-1 the count. Ricken the go-ahead run at third base. 1 out here in the second inning. Carriaco delivers, and Bold nubs it foul the other way. 2-2. Not really shortening up his swing. Bold is really trying to launch here. The Blues don't need a hit to score. They could score a ground ball up the middle with the middle playing back, or a sacrifice fly, but Ricken's got good speed. Don't need a hit at a mile to bring in the Blues third baseman at the third base bag. Spot where Carriaco's pitching for another strikeout. He's already got 3 on the day. And now Bold calls time. Burge out in front of home plate. I'm going to kick around the dirt just a bit. Give Bold and Carriaco a little bit of time. 2-2 the count. Carriaco struck out the side in the first. The 1 out here in this inning was a ground ball to second by Massiangelo. Carriaco set at the belt, front foot offset. He kicks and fires, and Bold lines it straight off the mask of Burge. 2-2. Bold, 8 strikeouts and 33 at-bats so far through 10 games in league play. 9 hits, the 8 Ks. He's also walked 5 times, so not the easiest to strike out. Strikeouts didn't follow him a ton at Princeton either. 34 Ks and 34 starts. Carriaco bends over, comes set. Another 2-2 on the way. Here it is, and Bold takes high. Count moves full. Nice take there. That was a fastball a little above the plate, just past the hands of Bold. We've seen the strike zones ebb and flow a little bit here in this series. So Bold, a gutsy take, earned himself a full count. Matt Spear on deck, go-ahead runner at third. 3-2 home. Bold cracks it on the ground to third. Backing up is Goldbrinson. He's got to go across the diamond to first, and Bold picks up an RBI. So second out of the inning, the Blues take their first lead in this series. It's 1-0 San Luis Obispo here in the second. And a nice at-bat from Bold. The Blues get situational hitting and back-to-back plate appearances. Ricken, who started off the inning with a double, scores the first run. And now Matt Spear comes up with the bases clear. And that's what the Blues have been looking for all summer. The situational hitting, taking advantage of early hits. Runners in scoring position. Massiangelo moves him over. Bold brings him in. It's 1-0. 2-0. That fastball is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count on Matt Spear. Another lefty-lefty matchup. Matt Spear, the San Jose State catcher, hitting .206 with a run batted in. 0-1 home. Spear takes the slider down to the dirt this time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt Spear, a huge increase in playing time this past season at San Jose State. Started just 3 games across his first 2 seasons for the Spartans, then started 49 games this past year and 170 at-bats, had 42 hits, 5 of them homers, 26 knocked in. 1-1. Spear takes another breaking ball. That's all that he's going to. 1-2 the count. Carriaco struck out the side in the first. He's allowed his first run of the game here in the second. He's a strike away from getting out of the frame. Just the 1 hit for the Blues. It was the double by Ricken, but he's across to score. The lefty sets the belt, and the 1-2 delivery. Spear takes a little off the plate outside with a fastball, 2-2. That was another tough take for the Blues. The entire infield started walking to the dugout for the Saints, including the pitcher Carriaco. The count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Carriaco set at the waist. He delivers, and Spear bounces it foul straight back to the on-deck circle. Count stays 2-2. So Spear staying alive. The Blues on the board here first. 1-0 here in the second.
Another big crowd tonight here in San Luis Obispo. Saturday game, earlier first pitch, 4 p.m. That's a really great showing from the community.
The 2-2 offering. Spear takes strike 3 call. Back to the curveball, and that's strikeout number 4 for Carriaco. The Blues strike here in the second. The double by Ricken. Situational hitting for Massiangelo and Bold. It's a 1-0 San Luis Obispo lead as we head to the third on the SLO Blues streaming network. 8-9-1, due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints here in the third inning. It's Preston Godfrey, Jared Quant, and then back to the top of the order for Connor Bradshaw. Here with the Blues on the board first. 1-0 lead for San Luis Obispo, and Cunningham retakes the hill up by a run. He'll face Preston Godfrey to lead off the inning. 200 average, a home run, 10 runs batted in for the New Mexico State left fielder. First pitch is a little off the inside corner up above the hands. 1 ball and no strikes. Godfrey playing left field today. Second straight game he's manned that position, so defense not changing for Godfrey. Hitting in the bottom of the order, and he lines one into center field to start the inning off. A base hit for the New Mexico State Aggie. He rounds first, and there's a runner at first with nobody out. So Godfrey, who had a hit and a walk in yesterday's game, starts his day off with a single up the middle. And now Jared Quant, the DH from Hawaii, will come up. Quant DHing for the second straight day, but his spot in the order, a big change. Led off yesterday, hits 9th today. And you wonder maybe why he was moved down. We've heard he's dealing with the right elbow injury, but he had 2 hits, a run scored, and a walk in yesterday's game. Moved today to the 9th spot, but he hits with a runner at first, nobody out. Cunningham looks to first, now deals. Quant squares to bunt and takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. Quant has huge ownage on Grant Cunningham, and Cunningham's first road start for the Blues when San Luis Obispo headed to Pasadena. Quant hit both of his home runs against Cunningham in 1 game. 2 absolute massive blasts over the right field fence out in Arroyo Seco. Quant, those are those only 2 home runs so far this year. They both came against the Washington righty. Pick to first. Diving back in is Preston Godfrey. Godfrey has not stolen a base so far this summer. No attempts as well. Want to know the count. Cunningham set of the belt. Another pick to first, and Godfrey dives again. We'll see. Quant squaring to bunt the first time up. I wonder if that's maybe a move that he's doing because he is too hurt to fully swing the bat. We mentioned the position players. Only 9 are here. Quant now swinging away. Takes a fastball low. 2 balls and no strikes. It was a very light bus from Arroyo Seco here to SLO. An overnight stay, the first of the year for the Saints. And the lineup mainly the same. The only new entrant is Connor Bradshaw. He's on deck, leadoff hitter with the 9-hole hitter Jared Quant here at the plate. 2-0. Quant swings and rolls it foul towards the Blues dugout. The count 2-1. Nice job there for Cunningham to re-enter the zone. Trying to continue to work around the traffic. That was the second hit he's allowed. Hammonds singled with 1 out back in the second inning. Now Godfrey the leadoff base hit here in the third. 2-1 on the way. Runner takes off. Quant swings and chops it foul. 2-2. So Godfrey, who hadn't attempted to steal a base all summer, going here with the leadoff single. Quant another foul ball. 2-2. Nobody out here in the third. Cunningham bent at the waist, shakes one side from Spear. Another shake. Shakes for a third time. Now he nods and comes set. Black glove held just above his navy belt. Donning the white pinstripes. He delivers. Godfrey takes off and a swing. Another tapper back to the screen. 2-2. So another battle going on between Quant and Cunningham. Pitcher and a batter with a lot of history so far this summer. And Cunningham looking to put away the 9-hole hitter. We'll see if Godfrey runs for a third straight pitch.
That's why I wouldn't expect to see him on the move without a Jared Quant swing.
Cunningham searching for the perfect offering here in a 2-2 count. Being heavily selective with his signs, but now he finds the one he wants and comes set. Another 2-2, no runner on the move, and a swing and a miss. Cunningham blows the fastball right by the hands of Quant. Now 1 away. So that's a nice pitch there from Cunningham. Quant had really dominated him all summer, and Cunningham not afraid to throw in the fastball, and he blows it right by him. Now back to the top of the order for Connor Bradshaw, who grounded out right back to Cunningham in the first inning. Godfrey still at first, tying run here in the third. One out now after the strikeout by Quant. And Bradshaw, the center fielder from Pepperdine, steps up. Right on left matchup. Another long hold from Cunningham, really freezing the runner. And now time is called. That was a very late time call, and Bradshaw didn't even get out of the box. Cunningham's got to be careful. Even in those situations, you're trying to throw the baseball. We had 2 different balk calls yesterday, and the balk is really what won the Saints the game in the 11th. Godfrey takes off again. A fastball inside. Throw down from Spear right to Darcy, and it bounces off his glove. A beautiful throw by Spear, but Darcy couldn't quite handle it on the forehand. And so Godfrey steals second base, puts himself in scoring position for Bradshaw. Now a chance for the Saints to tie things up here in the third. RBI opportunity for Bradshaw, who leads the team with 16 ribbies. 1-0 count on the center fielder from Pepperdine. Cunningham set to the belt. Quick glance back at Godfrey, and now he brings it home. Swing and a tapper foul off the bat of Bradshaw. The count evens up 1-1. Bradshaw through 3 seasons at Pepperdine so far. Almost had more of a struggle in each of the 3 years. Hit .291 as a freshman in 2021, .268 average in 2022. This past season, his worst at Pepperdine, a .231 average in 36 games. Did hit a career-high 6 homers, though. 1-1. Bradshaw swings and misses at the curve, 1-2. 6 homers, 18 runs batted in, but really for the most part, just a lack of hitting from Bradshaw in his junior year at Pepperdine. Struck out 39 times as well in 121 at-bats. 1-2 the count on the left-handed hitter. Choked up about an inch on his black wooden bat. Leading off second, the tying run, Preston Godfrey. Cunningham brings it home. And a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Grant Cunningham. Now 2 away here in the third. So back to the curveball. Cunningham went, and he got Bradshaw to fish down below in the dirt. And now here's Max Blessinger, the first baseman from Belmont. Blessinger flew out to center field. It was more of a line drive than a fly out, but ended up carrying out to the glove of Jariah Lewis. So he's 0 for 1. Came in today hitting .326 with 7 runs batted in. Second baseman DeCarlo holding Godfrey on in the second base bag. Cunningham glances there, now deals, and misses outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Blessinger, 29 hits now and 90 at-bats. 5 doubles, no homers, so a big singles hitter. Single here would knock in the first run for the Saints with Godfrey's speed at second. Now Cunningham spins, a check to second, no throw. Godfrey, good speed. Stole second base here already in this inning. So if Blessinger is able to find a way to get a ball into the outfield, the Saints feel confident with Godfrey's speed he'd be able to come around and tie this game up. Cunningham's 1-0 offering, and Blessinger takes a fastball center cut for a strike. 1-1. Blessinger, a 2-time transfer at Belmont now after transferring there from Pasadena City College and got to Pasadena by way of Dallas Baptist. The La Crescenta native, 5'11", 183-pound outfielder, even in the count here, 1-1. Pitch from Cunningham, and Blessinger takes a breaking ball on the outer half, 1-2. It was all SCC first team at Pasadena City College in 2022. Hit .240 this past year, his first season at Belmont. Cunningham a strike away from ending the third. He looks to second. Now he strides and shoots, and Blessinger takes outside. Cunningham, who came into today with just 16 strikeouts and 31 2/3, has 5 Ks through his first 2 2/3 innings here today, and a chance in a 2-2 count to strike out Blessinger, strike out the side. 2 Ks in each of the last 2 innings. Set at the belt from the stretch. The 2-2, here it comes. Blessinger takes outside. It squirts away from Spear. A big hop back to the Blues dugout. And moving up to third is Preston Godfrey. The count moves full. So a curveball in the dirt. Spear got down to his knees to block it, and it just bounced up in the air down the first base line. Allows Godfrey to advance. Now he's 90 feet away from scoring. Cunningham got to come into the zone here. A 3-2 count. Here's the payoff. Blessinger strikes out swinging. Cunningham unleashes a yell as he strikes out the side. 6 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, and he keeps the Saints off the board. We head to the bottom of the third. It's still 1-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. The Blues lead it by 1, and they're coming back up on offense. It's Sam DiCarlo, the second baseman from Washington, to lead things off here in the third. And he's followed by Cody Darcy. Back to the top of the order, Jacob Ruley. The hitters due up here against Peyton Carriaco. Blues got the lead in the second. Leadoff double by JT Ricken, who came in to score on an RBI ground out from Jake Bold. That's how the Blues have the lead. First pitch to DiCarlo, and DiCarlo chases the curveball down below the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Carriaco, outside of the hit allowed to JT Ricken, which is the lone base knock for the Blues so far, has been excellent. 4 strikeouts. The 2 groundouts he gave up in the second were nice pieces by the Blues because they were able to move the runner over, but not hit incredibly hard. Ricken really the only one that's figured Carriaco out, and it came in a 3-2 count. DiCarlo, a tough day at the plate yesterday. 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Struck out to lead off the 10th inning with the winning run at second base and nobody out. The 0-2 home, and DiCarlo takes high with a fastball, 1-2. So a golden sombrero yesterday for DiCarlo, trying to bounce back. Dean Traynor has moved him down the order, maybe in hopes that it'll help reignite his approach. 1-2 on the way, and DiCarlo strikes out swinging. 5th strikeout in the last 2 days for the Washington second baseman, and there's 1 away here in the third. That curveball is doing a number on the Blues. It's the curveball and the changeup. Carriaco will mix in a fastball, but the off-speed is really what's been carrying him through this first time through the order. And now it's Cody Darcy. Darcy, the shortstop from Arkansas State, steps up. 143 average, 2 runs batted in. Another righty at the plate for the Blues as Carriaco delivers, and Darcy takes a 2-seamer on the inside corner, strike 1. Important game in what's been an important series for the Blues. They lost yesterday to fall to 0-5 against the Saints this year, and the loss paired with an Oaks win against the Barons as Darcy chases out of the zone. The win paired with the loss has moved the Blues out of a playoff spot. So if the season ended today, the Blues, a half game back of the Conejo Oaks for the last playoff spot, would not be heading to the postseason. So they've got ground to make up now. Feels almost like a must-win here today against the Saints. 0-2. And Darcy leaves the changeup in the left-hand batter's box, 1-2. The Blues have 9 games left to make up that half game. The Oaks just 6 more. But the Oaks, they face the Barons twice and the Foresters 4 times. So a tale of 2 opposing teams for the Academy. 1-2. It's in the dirt with a change, 2-2. The Blues 9 games left. That's in 9 days, but they've got 2 doubleheaders, 2 off days. This game and 1 more game against the Saints, 3 versus the Barons, 3 versus the Riptide, and then 1 more the last game of the season against the Foresters. 2-2 as Carriaco sets the belt. He brings it home, and Darcy strikes out swinging. So back-to-back strikeouts start the third. There's 2 away. That is 6 strikeouts now for Carriaco. Him and Grant Cunningham going blow for blow with the K's. Cunningham 6 strikeouts through his own first 3 innings. And now Jacob Ruley comes up. So 6 Blues, the first 9 hitters have struck out. Here's Jacob Ruley, who struck out to start the ball game. Left fielder today, hitting leadoff. He takes a first pitch curveball in the inside corner. Ruley tossed in yesterday's game, made a comment all the way from left field that got him ejected on what would end up being the game-winning balk for the Saints. Dean Traynor has moved him into the leadoff spot today, playing left field again. And he takes an 0-1 fastball below the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ruley, the vocal leader of this team. We've said it really all summer long that he is there. He's always stepping up, and he wasn't afraid to get thrown out. He thought the balk call was egregious, yelled something out from left, got thrown out. Apparently was within earshot of the third base umpire, got himself tossed. 2-1 now the count after that fastball misses downstairs. Blues looking for a base runner here in the third. 2 away, a 2-1 count on the leadoff man, Jacob Ruley. 2-1. That's the curveball, and it misses slightly upstairs. The count moves 3-1. Ruley, not a batter you want to walk, especially with 2 strikes. He's got the speed to put himself in scoring position. He's a perfect 12 for 12 on stolen bases. But he draws walks, 14 of them so far this summer. If he's able to walk here, it would be number 15 on the league season. 3-1. He takes down low. So Carriaco, who was just piecing up the Blues hitter so far in this inning, not able to throw a strike to Jacob Ruley. It's a 2-out walk. The Blues have speed on the base paths. Here's Giovanni Blanchette. Blanchette struck out looking on a 2-seamer that crossed the inside corner back in the first inning. And now he comes up, runner at first, 2 away. Ruley has taken his 15th walk, and we'll see if he steals. Try and put himself in scoring position. Blanchette has the 4 league runs batted in. First offering of the at-bat, and Blanchette takes that same fastball he took for strike 3 for strike 1 here. 0-1 the count. Blanchette has entered the portal from St. Mary's. We mentioned it last time. Will end up at Fresno City College. Was one of the Blues showcase game selections, but he's been struggling at the plate as of late. Dean Traynor trying to get him up and going, hitting him second here in the lineup. Ruley dances off the bag. Carriaco delivers, and a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Back to the changeup. Went the lefty. 0-2 the count. Ruley took a huge secondary lead. Carriaco saw it, and he still came home with the ball. Focused on the hitter here with 2 outs here in the third inning. Carriaco long hold. Looks to first. Now deals, but time is called. We've seen the second time really that's happened where a hitter late into the motion for whoever's on the hill has called time, and it's been granted. A dangerous game to be playing for the umpire, for the catcher, for the hitter, for the pitcher's arm. Another late time call. Now Blanchette a little bit more time to think about the 0-2 as Carriaco stares in for his sign, and now he comes set. 0-2 home. Blanchette hammers it out to deep center field. Chasing it back as the center fielder Bradshaw. He squares up and makes the catch. Deep into left center. Blanchette sent the ball for a ride, but that's out number 3 here in the inning. We're a third of the way through the game. It's still a 1-0 Blues lead here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Blues on the high side here in the top of the 4th. It's a 1-0 San Luis Obispo lead as Grant Cunningham retakes the hill. He's got 6 strikeouts through his first 3 innings, and he'll face 3-4-5 here for the Saints. Jordan Rogers, Alex Burge, Mason Hammonds with a 1-0 lead. Cunningham deals, misses outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Jordan Rogers, the second baseman from Wichita State, struck out looking to end the first. 0 for 1 on the day. Cunningham, the 6 strikeouts, despite just 16 coming into this game. He misses high with a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. He's been getting ahead of hitters, and I think the real key for Cunningham, he's been finishing them off. Sometimes it's the fastball, sometimes the curve. He's varying up his delivery with 2 strikes, and it's been excellent so far. 2-0 offering as Rogers pops it up. Foul out of play down the first baseline. Count 2-1. The 16 strikeouts and 31 2/3 coming into the game for Cunningham, 6 through 3. That's averaging 2 an inning, despite averaging less than half an inning through his first 5 starts. 2-1. Rogers swings and misses. The count moves even. Another fastball by the bat of a Saint. Count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rogers, Burge, Hammonds due up here in the frame. Cunningham works quick, back in the windup. First base side of the rubber. He comes set, comes home, and misses outside with a slider. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another beautiful crowd here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Orange seats filled with bodies. And a handful, more than a handful, of families out on the grass. 3-2. Rogers hammers it on the ground. A diving attempt by Ricken at third, but it's by him and into left field. A 3-2 hit for Jordan Rogers. Another leadoff base runner here for the Saints. So Rogers has his first hit of the day. He's 1 for 2. And he leads off the first base bag. Alex Burge will come up with a runner on and nobody out. That's the 3rd hit for the Saints. The Blues have just the 1. It was the double by Ricken in the 2nd. The difference is the Blues got their run in, and the Saints are still looking for their first run across the board. Alex Burge, the catcher from Wichita State, now comes up. A strikeout in his first trip to the plate. Left-handed hitting catcher, and Burge swings and misses at the changeup, 0-1. The Blues went 14-20 last season. That's important because they're 12-14 so far in league play. 9 games to go. The Blues need to win just 3 to have a better record than last summer. trying to grab a playoff spot here late in the season. They're a half game back for that last spot. As Burge takes a breaking ball off the inside corner, 1-1. It really was a season to forget last year for the Blues. They came in 5th place, ended up going to the playoffs, but with the new format this year, if you make it in 5th, you will not be heading to the postseason. So the Blues need to find a way to jump the Oaks in their last 9 games, and a nice byproduct would be having a better summer this year than last. 1-1, runner takes off, a fastball swung and grounded into right field for a base hit. Heading to third is Jordan Rogers. Coming up with it in right is Giovanni Blanchette. His throw's a little late. Runners at the corners, nobody out for the Saints. A hit and run to perfection here in the 4th. And now you've got an RBI opportunity for Mason Hammonds, who's already 1 for 1. Back-to-back base hits. Golden opportunity here for the Saints to tie this up or take the lead. Hammonds a single in the 2nd, also has a home run, 11 runs batted in on the summer. An RBI opportunity here with Rogers at 3rd, Burge at 1st, nobody out. Blues will play the corners in. The middle infield back as now Cunningham steps off the mound. Darcy shouting out towards the Blues dugout. I think he wants to know how the Blues want to play this. Whether they want to bring the infield in, keep the middle back to turn the double play, maybe even put a shift on. And now Darcy's playing catch. Now they check at 2nd to see, and he's out. Rogers missed second base. Unbelievable. And Cody Darcy made the Blues wait forever and finally got the ball at 2nd, and Rogers is out. That is a huge turn of events here for the Blues. Now 1 out. The runner erased from 3rd base, and the tying run not 90 feet away any longer. So Rogers, who was racing around the second base bag to try and get to 3rd on the Burge single, ends up missing the bag. Cody Darcy, nice peepers, sees the mistake, and now 1 out, just the runner at 1st. Mason Hammonds takes the first pitch curveball high, 1 ball and no strikes. And that's what you get when you got a veteran out there at shortstop in Cody Darcy, someone that notices the little things. So Rogers misses second base, now 1 out in the inning. 1-0 the count on Mason Hammonds, the shortstop from Tarleton State, as Cunningham delivers, and Hammonds lines it into left. That would have scored a run, but after the change, no run across, 1st and 2nd. The Saints do have back-to-back-to-back hits to open the inning. So a tough turn of events for Arroyo Seco. They still do, though, have a nice scoring opportunity here in the 4th inning. We've got Burge at 2nd now, Hammonds at 1st. Kite McDonald will come up. Kite McDonald struck out his first time up back in the 2nd inning. RBI opportunity now for the right fielder from Wichita State. As Cunningham looks to the second base bag and delivers. And McDonald bounces it on the ground behind the 3rd base bag. Ricken runs, tags the bag, throws across the diamond. Not in time. A nice stretch attempt by Massiangelo, but McDonald a little bit too much speed. The Blues get the lead runner at 3rd, can't turn 2. And so it's 1st and 2nd again. Really nice effort by Ricken, who fielded it behind the bag. Had to lunge to get Alex Burge out of the 3rd base bag, but not enough juice on his throw in time to get the speedy McDonald. So now Thomas Goldbranson comes up. Hitter of the game last night, 3 for 5 day. Popped up to end the 2nd inning to the second baseman, Sam DiCarlo. 2 runners aboard, 2 outs, a 1-0 Blues lead. Cunningham sets to the belt from the stretch. After a long pause, he kicks and fires. Goldbranson takes the curveball a little upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Should have been a strike according to the StatCast strike zone. Cunningham not able to get ahead of the 3rd baseman from St. Thomas. Now 3 for 9, hitting .333 in his short CCL season. 1-0. Goldbranson takes a curveball. This one's off the plate outside, and he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Goldbranson had an RBI yesterday. We mentioned the 3 hits, 3 singles, including a big one late in the game back in the 11th inning. 2-0 count, 2 runners aboard. It's Hammonds at 2nd, McDonald at 1st. Cunningham brings it home. And a fastball misses low, and the count's 3-0. A walk here would load the bases for Preston Godfrey, who's 1 for 1 on deck. Big pitch coming here for Cunningham. Got to enter the zone against the third baseman from St. Thomas. The righty looks to second, and now he deals. And he misses high with a fastball. A very short zone here today. It's a 4-pitch walk to Goldbranson, and now the bases are loaded. Statcast strike zone showed that was right down the middle, and Cunningham is kicking the dirt. I think he thought should have been a 2-2 count. He thought the curveball was a strike. That fastball certainly should have been. And now Dean Traynor comes out to the mound. He wants to have a chat with Grant Cunningham. Situation where even if Cunningham was wronged by those calls, got to bear down here, get the bases loaded. Very important inning in a must-win game. Traynor out to talk, the entire infield out there as well. It'll be bases loaded for Preston Godfrey. Hammond's at third, the tying run. Kite McDonald, the go-ahead run, also in scoring position at second. And now Goldbranson at first. So Traynor departs. Cunningham will stay out on the hill. The infield returns back to their usual spots. Preston Godfrey will be the hitter. The left fielder from New Mexico State, hitting now above 200 with a home run and 10 runs batted in. Singled, stole a base back in the third. He's 1 for 1. Chance here for the Saints to tie things up or take the lead as Cunningham steps off, recycles his signs, and now stares into Matt Spear. Infield plays back, forced at any base for the Blues. Right on left matchup against Preston Godfrey. Cunningham throws. Godfrey takes a first pitch breaking ball right there for a strike, 0-1. Godfrey trying to come through, had his first home run last week for the Saints. Double-digit runs batted in for the New Mexico State left fielder. The 0-1 home, and Godfrey swings and pops this one up right to the shortstop, Cody Darcy, who makes the catch, calling off Ricken in time for the out. So Cunningham battles through the base runners here in the fourth as we head to the bottom half of the inning. The Blues still lead it 1-0 here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the fourth, Blues lead it by 1. Jariah Lewis bunting on the first pitch, and he misses foul down the line. 0-1 the count. Lewis is 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the first, but the Blues have a 1-run lead after Grant Cunningham able to escape the bases-loaded jam last inning. And so that's a big turn of events for the Blues. And now a chance to add on. You've got 3, 4, 5 coming to the plate. Carriaco still on the hill, left-on-left matchup here to start the fourth. Carriaco sets at the belt, kicks and fires, and Lewis takes outside with a fastball, 1-1. Well, Nate, you've been able to watch the first couple innings, half an inning late because you were playing the golf game on the field, and I think it's a good news for the fans that I did not show your golf swing on air.
I don't think it was the swing that was bad. I just had too much juice on the ball. Let's just not show them the chunk, though. We don't have to talk about the chunk on the first swing.
Yeah, what did they call it, a breakfast ball?
They called it a breakfast ball. I was very glad I was gifted that. I did get booed, and that kind of rattled me, but I was able to take a deep breath and semi-lock it in.
1-2. Lewis leaves it outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, for those of you that don't know what a breakfast ball is, Nate Mills just completely missed the golf ball on his first swing. And I would have booed you too, by the way. I think I kind of did from up here, maybe a little bit.
I hate being an excuse guy, but that green was turned the wrong way, and it was awfully tall, man.
2-2. Lewis takes inside, and the count moves full. Anyways, golf aside, Blues are up by 1 here. I think it's safe to call this a must-win game. Blues 0-5 against the Saints so far this year. They're now out of the playoff picture if the season were to end today. They really got to come away with a win here on the last game of this long homestand before the grueling stretch starts with the doubleheader tomorrow and the long road trip next week. 3-2. Lewis takes in the dirt, and it's a leadoff walk.
I think the Blues certainly recognize the importance of this game with talking down the dugout with first base coach Regalado and Jake Bold, the DH today. They had a roundtable discussion in the batting cage before today's game, talking about how they can string together better at bats. And I think what it all came down to is minimalizing the swings, not trying to do too much when you get a pitch that you can crush. And I think that's exactly what we've been saying up here in the booth. I think now that they've gotten it out there, they had a discussion with the whole team that maybe it could be coming into fruition now.
Dean Traynor out to argue something with the home plate umpire. He's now gets a pat on the back. Not sure what that's about. Not a pinch hitter coming up or anything, but Dean Traynor was out of the dugout to have some kind of a discussion. It's JT Ricken to the plate. He's got the only hit so far for the Blues. 5 hits for Arroyo Seco, just 1 for SLO, but the Blues lead it by 1. It was a leadoff double back in the second for Ricken, who came in to score on a Jake Bold RBI, where him and Mastiangelo, some nice at-bats to move the runner over and move him in. Now a chance for Ricken, Lewis at first, and Carriaco picks to first.
And some threatening speed over there at first base. 12 of 16 on the year for stolen bases for Jariah Lewis. He's a thief. He likes taking off for second. JT Ricken, also an RBI guy. He's got 9 so far, looking for that 10th.
First pitch of the at-bat, Lewis takes off. Here's the throw down to second from Blessinger, and he's in there. So Blessinger, who's not normally a first baseman, kind of lobbed the throw into second base, and Jariah Lewis, too much speed.
There was some uncertainty on that throw, lobbing it over to second base. Jariah Lewis just took off, didn't look back. That's a big reason he's in there safely. A lot of times you'll see base runners caught in the middle, wondering what they should do on a play like that, but Jariah Lewis with a ton of confidence going to second base. He's in safely.
And this is where having only 9 position players here all weekend comes back to bite the Saints. Blessinger, normally a center fielder, just not a situation he's used to. And now Lewis takes off for third. A little sinking liner into center. Bradshaw dekes. Lewis touches the third base bag. Now he's trying to come in to score. The catch goes by Rogers, the second baseman. And I think that the Saints are going to try and check third. Lewis is safe. So it's 2-0 Blues, an RBI for Ricken. That's number 9 on the year. And that was a weird situation, but Lewis comes in to score.
Yeah, Ricken's seen it well. After going the other way with that double in the second inning, he comes up clutch again with the RBI single. And honestly, Bradshaw deked me. I thought he was camped under this one, throwing up the glove as if he was camped under it. And it got Jariah Lewis, too. Took an awkward route at third base, looped around the bag, but he did touch it again, and he's standing up at home.
He thought he had to head back to second, or else he would get doubled off. And then he started to break back, touched the third base bag, and came in to score. But you don't blame the Saints for trying to see if he was out at third. The Blues were really helped out by a call at second when Jordan Rogers missed the second base bag, moving first to third on a single. So 2 hits now for Ricken as Mastiangelo chops this foul. The only 2 hits. He's got an RBI and a run scored for the Blues. And now he's at first. Nobody out. Matt Mastiangelo, who grounded out to second back in the second inning. 2-0 slow lead here against Carriaco. 2 batters here into the fourth. Left on left matchup as the Kent State lefty comes set of the belt. And now he delivers. Mastiangelo pops it up high on the infield. It's the third baseman Goldbrinson who calls for it. Ranging towards the mound, he makes the catch at the waist. 1 away.
And there's those big swings we're talking about. Mastiangelo getting under that fastball. Definitely a pitch he can handle and one he can pull down the right field line, as we've seen him do so many times. Gets a little too greedy under it on the swing. It's an infield pop-out. Still got 2 more outs to work with, though.
Here's Jake Bold, the DH from Princeton, the other RBI for the Blues, as he grounded out deep to third to bring in Ricken, who was at the third base bag back in the second inning. Home run, 6 runs batted in for the Princeton catcher. Takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Ricken, good speed at first, but he's 0 for 1 so far on stolen base attempts. As Bold, a big swing and a miss at the changeup, 1 ball and 1 strike. And what we saw from Jake in his first at bat was 2 big swings for the first 2 strikes, but then he shortened up with the 2-strike count. And that's, I think, what we've been looking to see the Blues do so far this summer. 1-1. Bold, another big swing. He chops it on the ground towards short. Hammonds comes up with it, and he bobbles it, and Bold's into first. The third error for the shortstop Hammonds on the weekend, and the Blues have first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, Hammond's waiting way too long on that ground ball. It eats him up, takes a nasty hop right into the chest, buys Jake Bold some time to get to first base, and the rally continues.
And now a meeting at the mound for the Saints. Pitching coach coming out with Carriaco on the hill. He's allowed still just the 2 hits. With a walk to lead off the inning, the stolen base to Lewis. Ricken's RBI, now the error from Hammonds. And a little bit of chaos coming here in the fourth. A 2-0 Blues lead. The batter will be Matt Spear. Spear struck out looking in the second. It'll be the left-hand hitting catcher against the left-handed Kent State pitcher. Steve Tolley over now to talk with the home plate umpire. It's been an interesting series. Did you feel like the chippiness was there in the dugout the first 3 innings for the Blues? Is there some carryover from yesterday?
Honestly, not really. This is something I was anticipating happening into today's ball game, but honestly, no.
Interesting.
But like I said, I think there is still a focus and an urgency for today's game. I think they realize the magnitude of what it means for their playoff implications.
I think it's certainly better, too, for them to focus on winning as opposed to beating the Saints, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Still got to beat the Saints to win, though, as the Blues have a chance now to add to their 2-0 lead. Matt Spear, the left-handed hitting catcher, steps up, and he bounces the first pitch into the hole at second. A long range for Rogers. He spins, throws, and gets the out at first. Both of the Blues move up. Now there's 2 outs in the inning, runners at second and third.
Yeah, Matt Spear doing a job, though, moving the runners into scoring position. Now at second and third. Rogers making a great rangy play at second base, lunging for that ball. And luckily for the long-armed second baseman, he's able to put out Spear.
A ball almost trickled into right field, but instead a nice play by the second baseman Jordan Rogers. Keeps it on the infield, gets the out, and now an RBI opportunity for Sam DiCarlo. Got a home run, 7 runs batted in, but he struck out in 5 of his last 6 plate appearances this weekend. First pitch of the at-bat, and DiCarlo takes the changeup low, 1 ball and no strikes. 6 strikeouts so far for Carriaco, still looking for his first here in the fourth. Struck out the first 2 hitters in the third, all 3 hitters in the first, ended the second with a K. Big spot for the Blues to try and open this up. They've got runners at second and third, Ricken at the third base bag, Bold at second. With a 1-0 home, and DiCarlo takes a curveball for strike 1.
And it's moments like these that the Blues talked about in their roundtable meeting today, capitalizing with runners at second and third.
Two runners in scoring position for the Blues, 2 outs, a 2-0 lead. 1-1. DiCarlo wraps it on the ground into the hole at third, off the glove of a sliding Goldbranson. He gets up, and he's got no throw. The Blues score again. It's 3-0 on the RBI single from Sam DiCarlo.
Sam DiCarlo doing a great job just putting the bat to the ball, minimizing the swing. Just a simple tapper into the infield, and Goldbranson can't come down with it. Nice sliding effort, but it's not enough. Blues add on another.
Well, the effort keeps Bold at third, but can't stop that one run from scoring, and the inning keeps going. 2 runs now in the frame for the Blues as Ricken comes in to score. Cody Darcy comes up now, the 9-hole hitter. Still 2 runners aboard for the Blues. They add on another, so it's 3-0. Runners the corners now with 2 outs. Carriaco delivers, and Darcy hits one on the ground. A sliding stop by the shortstop, Hammonds, and he drops it again. Another error by Mason Hammonds. Would have been a nice play. He got the slide, got the snag, and just dropped the ball.
Yeah, the defensive miscues continue over there at shortstop for the Saints. Can't seem to figure out the bouncy dirt at Sinsheimer.
Well, Darcy's been given a hit, so that means he's got an RBI as well. RBI number 3. The score advances to 4-0 now, Blues. And they've scored 2 more with 2 outs here in the 4th. And now it's Jacob Ruley, the leadoff hitter. Still 2 runners aboard, 2 outs in the inning. The Blues have turned their 1-run lead into a 4-run lead here in the 4th inning. Ruley is 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk for the Blues left fielder. He takes a changeup off the plate outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So the Blues have gotten to Carriaco here in the 4th inning. They've got now 4 hits after entering this inning with 1. Lewis, Ricken, and Bold have all scored. 1-0. Ruley takes a curveball in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. It's DeCarlo at second, Darcy at first, the middle of the order on base for the Blues.
Darcy's at first, DeCarlo's at second.
Righty warms up in the pen. Peyton Carriaco looking to get out of things here in the 4th with 2 outs, a 2-0 count. Carriaco comes home, and Ruley takes a changeup in the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes to count. And Ruley, who now has 15 walks after his base on balls in the 3rd, a chance to walk for the 2nd straight inning.
Looks like Creighton Hansen is in the final steps of his warm-up. It'll be interesting to see if they let Carriaco.
Walk here would load the bases. Giovanni Blanchette on deck. Blanchette's 0 for 2. Carriaco set below the belt. Here's his 3-0. And Ruley takes a fastball a little bit low. That's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Jacob Ruley. He's aboard, and the bases are loaded.
And he improves that walk to strikeout ratio. Walking more than he Ks. That's a sign of a healthy hitter. Guy who knows what pitches he likes, and he's continued to do it here with great discipline, loading up the bases for Giovanni Blanchette.
So now Ruley at first, Darcy at second, Sam DeCarlo at third. Carriaco will stay in to face the Blues right fielder from Fresno City College. 0 for 2, a strikeout looking and a fly out to center for Giovanni Blanchette. But a better swing his last time up. He takes inside with a changeup, 1 ball and no strikes. Creighton Hansen looks fully warm in that bullpen. Maybe he's coming in next to face Jariah Lewis if Carriaco can't end this inning.
We're now seeing 5 straight balls out of Carriaco.
Alex Burge out to talk with the lefty from Kent State. You've seen this lefty now twice. If you're Blanchette, you've watched what's gone on this inning. What's your approach at the plate in a 1-0 count?
I think with Blanchette, he's a guy that we're still waiting for to fall into that round table discussion of minimizing the swing. The swing looks good. He shouldn't be worrying about any of the mechanics. A lot of times hitters will fall into worrying too much about that. But as I've said, an underrated hitter's count, 1-0 is. And Blanchette just hunt a fastball here. Don't try to do too much.
Ruley at first, Darcy at second, DeCarlo at third. The Blues have already scored 3 here in the 4th inning. Peyton Carriaco behind the count 1-0. And the Blues, I think, a warning in the dugout. Carriaco on the hill, trying to block out all the noise. Find out number 3 here in the 4th. The lefty working from the third base side of the rubber comes set, comes home. And Blanchette bounces it on the ground towards short. Hammonds has this one. Got to make a long throw. It's a little bit low, and Blanchette is out. So Hammonds, a third chance, and he gets the out here for the final out of the inning. But the Blues score 3 runs here in the 4th. We head to the 5th inning. It's 4-0 Blues on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher into the game for the Blues, making his Blues debut. It's Benji Coginelli. We were told by the Blues that they had added 5 pitchers. Only one new one was going to come today, and Coginelli was not on the list, but he's into the game here wearing number 49. The righty takes over here on the top of the 5th, and he'll be facing 9-1-2, starting with Jared Quant, the DH, and the first pitch sailed way over the head of the Hawaii designated hitter. 1 ball and no strikes. So the roster moves becoming apparent here in the 5th as Grant Cunningham out of the game, top 5, and Benji Coginelli takes over. 1-0 offering. This one's high as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Cunningham, 4 scoreless frames for the Blues, allowed 5 hits, but also struck out 6 hitters. Had a tough 4th inning, but didn't allow a run, so now Coginelli takes over. And that's way high as well. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, and a good outing for Grant Cunningham, making his name a statement in the conversation about starting pitcher roles at the University of Washington, becoming a strikeout guy today.
3-0. Way high again. A 4-pitch walk to start Coginelli's outing. Runner at first with nobody out. In the bottom half of the 4th, the Blues went into it with a 1-0 lead. They've extended it to 4-0. Whenever you've got a debut or a guy making their first appearance, the nerves are there in front of this big crowd, so Coginelli does have to be careful. And he's got to go through the top of the order now after the leadoff walk. It's Connor Bradshaw to the plate.
Yeah, especially in front of a crowd like this. Sinsheimer, this place is always rocking, especially making your debut. Debut as a college kid can be tough sometimes.
Coginelli delivers. That fastball right in there. Bradshaw fouls it off. No balls and 1 strike. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from the righty. Bradshaw comes up. He's 0 for 2. A ground out right back to Cunningham to start the game, and then a strikeout in the 3rd. 0-1. Bradshaw takes high, so of the 6 pitches Coginelli's thrown, they've all been fastballs, and all of his misses well above the zone.
Yeah, just trying to get it over the plate right now. Just want to get that strike over and done with so you can get to work on your other pitches.
1-1 the count, runner at first. Pitch on the way, and Bradshaw cracks it in the air. A high pop-up down the left field line. Rulli runs over into foul territory. Now spots up and makes the catch. The runner at first, Quan, acted like he was going to tag up, but he returns back to the bag, so it's a non-productive out, 1 away.
And Coginelli just wanted to get this one over the plate. He does. Luckily for him, gets some soft contact out of Connor Bradshaw. Rulli's able to just camp underneath it for the first out.
Max Blessinger comes to the plate now, so a debut for Coginelli, one of the 5 new pitchers added to the roster yesterday, right in front of the roster freeze. Almost a buzzer-beater move for the Blues, trying to add some depth before what they hope might be a late-season playoff run. Max Blessinger's 0 for 2, a fly out to center, and a strikeout today so far for the first baseman from Belmont. Coginelli comes home, and Blessinger takes well outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Was surprised on how aggressive Connor Bradshaw was there at the plate when we've seen Coginelli struggle to throw consistent pitches in the zone.
And Bradshaw going up there.
Coginelli set, he delivers, and the fastball misses a little bit outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Coginelli is from CSU Bakersfield, 6'4", 235-pound sophomore. A Bakersfield native, went to Ridgeview High School, and was a mainstay in the Bakersfield rotation back in 2022. Did not pitch in 2023. And that fastball misses inside, is now 3 balls and no strikes. Quant runs it first, 1 out here, a 3-ball, no-strike count. Coginelli set at the belt, he delivers, and he misses inside. So 2 walks now, runners at first and second, and another 4-pitch miss from Coginelli.
You can still try to get some soft contact, maybe get a ground ball here. Looks like Brian Trainor's going to have a talk, though, with his right-hander.
With that, we're going to take a step away here on the SLO Blues streaming network. We'll be back. Runners at first and second, 1 out, here from Sinsheimer Stadium. line trainer departs. First and second, one away. Here's Jordan Rogers. The fastball misses high again, 1-0. Rogers trying to make up for his mental miscue back in the fourth inning. Was trying to run from first to third, missed the second base bag, and was erased from the base path as Cody Darcy noticed. He's 1 for 2 at the plate with a strikeout and a single. 1-0. That one's right down the middle. Down Broadway with a fastball. Caginelli evens up the count 1-1.
There you go. Get that one out of the way. Now you can get to work now.
1-0 the count, 1 out, 2 runners aboard, and a 4-0 game. Caginelli comes home and misses way inside. He bends back Jordan Rogers, 2 balls and 1 strike. Got to be careful. You can't walk another. It would bring the tying run to the plate, a home run hitter, and Alex Burge.
Yeah, 2 of them on the year, including 3 triples.
2-1, a swing and a miss. Put it right by him there, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Burge was a home run derby participant, so you don't want to give him a chance for a grand slam.
No.
2-2 the count on the second baseman from Wichita State, Jordan Rogers. Quan at second, Blessinger at first. 2-2, and that's fisted foul. Count still even 2-2.
Yeah, Jordan Rogers is hunting at the top of the zone. Whenever Caginelli comes back up there, he's taking a hack, but hasn't connected on it decently so far. Just fouling it straight back or swinging and missing. I wouldn't be surprised if he went right back upstairs.
We've seen just the fastball so far. Caginelli trying to stay in the zone. 2-2, and he misses high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The fastball has been all the way up to 91, normally settling around that 89-90 range. But now a full count, big pitch on the way. A walk would bring the tying run to the plate. Powerful hitter and Alex Burge standing on deck. 3-2, and he misses out. 3 walks now in the inning, and the bases are loaded.
Yep, went back in the at-bat. You got Rogers to swing at those fastballs up in the zone. He tried to go back there again, missed too high for a ball, and then obviously right there too wide for a ball again to load up the bases, and not the guy you want to see up there for San Luis Obispo.
Burge has struck out and singled. 2 home runs on the summer. Was a showcase game selection, home run derby participant for the Saints. And a chance now to tie it up with 1 swing. Caginelli just trying to find the command. 3 runners aboard. It's Blessinger at second. After Jordan Rogers walked, he's at first, and Quant is at third. First pitch to Burge, and the catcher takes a fastball in the inside corner, 0-1. Bases loaded, 1 out. 0-1 now the count. Middle infield plays double play depth. Corners even with the bag. And Burge takes a second strike. Fastball on the outside corner, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, going right at him with the fastball. Wasting no time. Just gave him 2 pitches, challenged him with it, and Burge can get the bat off the shoulder.
Now we'll see if Caginelli goes to something other than the fastball. We've seen just the heater so far, but he's got a couple pitches to work with here, 0-2.
He like to force the ground ball as well, playing double play depth, 1 out, trying to get out of this jam.
0-2. And Burge lines it into center field, ranging into the gap. It bounces in front of Jariah Lewis, a base hit. In to score is Jared Quant. Right behind him, Blessinger, the throw to home. And now advancing to second, the throw got right by Spear, and 3 runs will score. Burge goes to third. Caginelli throws it away, and now Burge rounds around third. You can't make it up. It's a 3 RBI Little League triple for Alex Burge, and it's 4-3.
Yeah, that's the 4th triple on the year for Alex Burge. In the gap, Jariah Lewis has a really nice angle on it. Was really close to minimizing the damage, but snowball fight happening around the infield, allowing 2 more runs to come in and score.
So it's a double for Burge, an error on the relay throw, but that really should be on Matt Spear. He saw a long hop and didn't even make contact with his glove. The ball went right by to the backstop, allowed that 3rd run to score, and Caginelli, who would have had a chance at third to get Alex Burge, just threw it right by Spear, the catcher, and now the Blues have to bring the infield in. They lead it now just by the 1 run, and Mason Hammond's at the plate. So Burge the tying run at third. Things getting away from the Blues here in Caginelli's debut. The righty comes home, and Hammonds takes way high, 2 balls and no strikes. In a must-win game, the Blues had to use the must-make decision, bring in Caginelli for his first appearance, pulling Grant Cunningham, and it's not working in the Blues' favor so far. 2-0. Hammonds takes a curveball, first one we've seen, and it's strike number 1. Infield in, and everyone on that lip of the infield grass. 2-1. And Hammond swings at this curveball, laces it foul down the line, missed his teammate and the umpire, and the count evens up.
Yeah, just a foot away from bringing in another run for Arroyo Seco. Now you get to 2 strikes. Wonder if you see that curveball once again.
He's gone back-to-back with a breaker, pitching for a strikeout here with a tying run at third, less than 2 outs. Hammond's trying to pick up an RBI. He's got 11 so far on the league season, and he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles today. 2-2 offering, and Hammond hits it in the air towards center. Should be deep enough to score Birch from third. It's the center fielder, Jariah Lewis, who has to make the catch. The lob back in, and this game is tied.
Jariah Lewis doing a good job calling off Giovanni Blanchette. He had the better angle there. Was able to just spin around and make the throw in the infield. But no matter what, that was going to bring in the runner from third base and Alex Burge in for another run, tying up this game.
12th RBI for Hammonds. The Blues have allowed 4 runs in this inning. The only hit was the double by Burge. 3 walks by Gaginelli. They've all scored, and now Burge scores. First pitch of this new at-bat to Kite McDonald is low and inside. 1-0 the count, and the Blues have given up the lead here in the 5th inning. Kite McDonald at the plate so far today has struck out, grounded into a fielder's choice. A 1-0, way outside, 2 balls and no strikes. It always is hard, coming off the couch, pitching for the first time in the summer since your college season, and Gaginelli just has not had the command. 2-0. McDonald takes high with a fastball, 3 balls and no strikes. On the verge of walking his 4th hitter here in the inning.
And it's so different, too. You can throw as many bullpens as you want. You can hit the gym and work out with your pitching coaches. Just not the same as a competitive at-bat.
McDonald takes a fastball in the outside corner this time. 3 balls and 1 strike. Searching for that elusive third out here in the 5th. The 3-1 home. A little bit low, but called for a strike. Fastball in there. Count evens up, 3-2. Kite McDonald trying to extend this inning. The crowd starts a little bit of a murmur, trying to get the Blues out of the 5th. 3-2, and McDonald shoots it down the right field line into the Blues bullpen, out of play. The count stays full.
McDonald just missing on that fastball. Slightly tardy.
Another 3-2 incoming. Full count with 2 outs. Gaginelli delivers, and he froze him with the curveball. Strike 3 call. A 4-run inning for the Saints. We head to the bottom of the 5th. This game is tied for the first time here from Sinsheimer Stadium. Jariah Lewis to lead things off for the second straight inning. The Blues scored 3 in the bottom of the fourth, but the Saints have come back to tie things up here in the fifth. It's now a 4-4 game. Creighton Hansen, the new righty, takes over. He deals to Lewis, and that's way in the dirt with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Watch out. Would have been a broken toe. And now Lewis is arguing it hit him. Umpires will come in to talk. Lewis, it looked like he had to jump rope over that one, and so maybe it did manage to clip at least a shoelace or something. Maybe a nice base runner for the Blues with Lewis's speed if they're able to get the go-ahead run aboard here to start the fifth.
Yeah, very well could have, and even if it's not, we've talked about the acting job that you need to put on as a hitter. If a pitch is even close and you just want to get a rally starting, sometimes that's what it takes to get on base, and in case of Jariah Lewis, steal second.
So Lewis told he's got to stay at the plate. So 1 ball, no strikes. Creighton Hansen is the new right-handed arm. And now it's Alex Burge who's kind of walking around. I wonder if he was the one who did get hit with that fastball in the inside corner. Walking around, kicking around that right foot. Looks like he's in a little bit of pain. Creighton Hansen into the game, the Xavier product. 6'3", 205-pound right-hander. A 5.63 earned run average so far in 8 innings. 1-0. And Lewis takes inside again. Back-to-back fastballs that brush him back off the plate, 2-0.
Trying to go in with the fastball and Jariah Lewis. That's a pitch we know he can turn on. Wonder why he keeps going inside there. Wonder if he lives there again, once again with the fastball. 2-0 count.
2-0 offering. Lewis wraps this one foul down the right field line. We've been told that Hansen can be all the way up to mid-90s with the fastball. The pitch that missed inside that brushed Lewis back, both of them 91. Not one you want to take off the leg or the foot.
No, not ideal.
2-1 the count. Leadoff hitter here in the fifth as the Blues now need to find a way to grab another lead. Jariah Lewis has walked and scored. He's also struck out. Hansen delivers. Lewis hammers it deep to right field. Back to the wall is Kite McDonald. He looks up. He leaps. It's gone! And there's the lead. Jariah Lewis hits his second home run, and the Blues take a 5-4 advantage here on a leadoff blast in the fifth.
Well, I foreshadowed it. We talked about the inside fastball. It's a pitch we've seen Jariah Lewis crush all season. He gets another one here. Lets the velocity do all the work for him. This one's lifted deep to right. Jariah Lewis taking the lead for SLO.
Jariah Lewis has been destroying baseballs in batting practice the last 2 days. He's peppering the cages out in deep right. He's almost hitting it to the train tracks. That's how far he's been launching them. And here he gets one in a game, and the Blues are back in front. First pitch now to JT Rickens on the outside corner with a fastball. So Jariah Lewis, a home run to untie this one here in the fifth, and the Blues right back in front.
He might have just damaged your disc golf course.
He did. 0-1. And Ricken takes a beautiful curveball below the zone, though. 1 ball and 1 strike. You don't brush Jariah Lewis back off the plate, or he'll make you pay. Fastball right to the barrel. The Blues another lead. And now Ricken an even count, 1-1. Hansen comes home. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Fifth hit for the Blues. First one to leave the yard here at home since Jake Bold a couple weeks ago. Ricken is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. He's got a double and a single. 2-1. Ricken takes the curveball low. 2-2 the count. Well, that was called a strike, so the count 2-2. Thought it was a ball below the zone. The count evens up.
The calls have been there today. Lower pitches been called strikes. Take notes.
2-2. Ricken fights this one into right field. McDonald spun around, and he stops in front of the track and makes the catch for the first down.
Yeah, fights is the right word. I didn't think he caught that much barrel on it. Just goes to show you the strength of JT Ricken hitting the ball as deep as he did into right. We've talked about your encounters with him at the YMCA and the weight you've been able to see him throw around, Jack, and it's paying off right there as a swing that looked like a ball that would be mustard out there was kind of touched.
So now Matt Massiangelo steps up. Ricken retired for the first time today. Massiangelo was 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop out so far in this game. Creighton Hansen into the game. First batter, he faces the homer. Now the first out of the inning. And he deals a curveball up high to Massiangelo. 1 ball and no strikes. Always a tough blow for a pitcher to come in, give up a homer to the first batter they face. But Jariah Lewis tattooed it over the wall, and the Blues in front 5-4.
That's a tough way to start, especially after 2 misses inside.
That fastball perfectly placed on the outer half. 1-1 the count on Massiangelo. Would love to see Massiangelo use the fastball that has extra velocity, run into some power of his own. He's been so great at hitting for contact, hitting singles this season, but we're looking for the power to develop as well for the left-hander. 1-1. It's in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. That was, I think, the most no-doubt home run we've seen here at home for the Blues. And Jariah Lewis now leads the team between non-league and league games. That's his 3rd blast.
Yeah, he's no stranger to no-doubt home runs after that grand slam in Conejo. You think he knew there?
Yeah, well, what was it, 460 feet?
Yeah.
And that one's on the inside corner. Back to the breaking ball. Hansen evens things up. Lewis, not the most built outfielder that the Blues have. Kind of a skinnier guy compared to some of the other guys on the team, but you could argue he's got the most power. Something vicious about his swing. 2-2. Massiangelo taps it foul, loses the elbow guard, but the count stays 2-2.
Yeah, fighting it off. Just trying to do whatever you can to put the bat in the ball. Gets a little big there. We've talked about the 2-strike approach, shorten it up, and not trying to do too much. Now, that's not to say that the elbow guard falling off indicates that.
Still 2-2. 1 out here in the 5th. The Blues have retaken the lead on the Jariah Lewis homer. Hansen looking for out number 2. He delivers, and Massiangelo hits it in the air, sinking to left. In comes Godfrey, and he makes the catch at his waist for the 2nd out.
Good play by Godfrey out and left, running on the toes, making sure the eyes aren't bouncing because that's a tough ball to play. The slicing bat of a left-handed hitter in Massiangelo going towards the line. Underrated, difficult play to make in the outfield, especially on the corners.
I think Jariah Lewis, too, from the dugout, is probably pretty happy he didn't get the hit by pitch he was trying to act for.
Oh, yeah.
Take a home run instead. First pitch to Jake Bold is a curveball in the outside corner for a strike. Bold, the catcher from Princeton, has reached on an error and scored back in the 4th. He grounded out in the 2nd. 2 ground balls to the left side for the Princeton backstop. DHing today. As he checks his swing here. Did he go around? He did not. The count evens up 1-1. Hansen has gotten the Blues to hit 3 fly balls. One of them's left the yard. The other 2 to the corner outfielders. Definitely a fly ball pitcher. As Bold fists this one, a 1-hop ground ball to Rogers, who ranges over to his left and makes the catch in time for the out. Blues grab a lead. It's the 2nd league home run for Jariah Lewis. It's 5-4 as we head to the 6th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Blues are in front. They got 365 feet of help from Jariah Lewis on a leadoff blast in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now we're back here on the top of the 6th. Benji Caginelli stays out for the Blues. Nate, what's the key here for Caginelli to retain the lead for the Blues?
Caginelli, I think, has to get it over the plate, has to get some more soft contact out of the guys over there at the Saints. Don't try to do too much with his pitches. Take a little pressure off himself. We talked about him making his debut at Sinsheimer, maybe even his summer debut as well. I think the command's going to be an issue with anyone in that situation. I think just try to get soft contact out of Arroyo Seco and let the defense go to work.
He'll face the bottom third of the order here in the 6th. Goldbranson, Godfrey, Jared Quant. 5-4 Blues lead as Caginelli delivers, and the first pitch is way outside. The misses for Caginelli have not been close. So if he's able to reel it in, even if he misses, as long as it's closer, you might generate some swings and misses. That fastball in the dirt before the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. I think that's one of the biggest indicators of nerves or rust as well, is you're just really not dialed into the zone whatsoever.
Yeah, there's the persistency versus accuracy table, looking at the darts at the dartboard, the definition of both. I think it's sprayed everywhere. He can't really find a zone where he can hit consistently. Still trying to find that feel.
3-0. That one's high. Oh, it's a strike. Goldbranson, and even the home plate umpire had me fooled. Goldbranson was almost entirely out of the box. The umpire a long wait, but he calls it a strike. 3-1. First batter here in the 6th inning with the Blues in front. Pitch on the way, and that one's high. So it's another walk, the 4th of the day for Caginelli, and now a leadoff base runner tying run aboard here in the top of the 6th.
Well, now you got to get to work here with a leadoff walk. Can still get a ground ball, flip and a double play. Would be nice to grab those 2 outs, but for now, the task at hand is just finding a spot somewhere on Matt Spear's glove and hitting it consistently.
Blues have another righty warming up in the pan. It's Matt Hartford, another one of their new pitchers added to the roster. We'll see how much longer that Dean Traynor will stick with Caginelli. Got to work from the stretch here. Preston Godfrey, the New Mexico State left fielder, steps up. Goldbranson, his 2nd straight walk, is at first. And Godfrey hits a high drive into center or into right field. Blanchette, the right fielder, comes in and makes the catch. A little bit underneath it, a little too much loft, and one away.
Giovanni Blanchette just camped underneath one, barely misses that fly ball. I thought he caught a bit more of it, but it looks like it was off the end. Blanchette doesn't got to do much. Easy first out.
Good things happen when you come into the zone. You'll try and do the same thing here to Jared Quant. Quant walked to lead off the 5th against Caginelli, came all the way around to score. One of the 4 runs scored in the 5th inning by the Saints. And now comes up, tying run at first. Pitch on the way, and Quant takes off the inside corner with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes.
We do have action still in the Blues bullpen. Right-hander is up and throwing for them. If my glasses are working right, it's number 12, Matt Hartford.
It's in there for a strike, 1-1 as Caginelli comes in with a fastball. Jared Quant, a hitter you got to be careful with. He's got 2 home runs against the Blues so far this summer. A walk and a strikeout today. He's 0 for 1.
Caginelli catching off that lower half of the zone once again.
Quant ropes this one foul down the right field line. 1-2. Tying run aboard, 1 out here in the 6th. Top of the order on deck, and Connor Bradshaw.
And what we've preached about the slow Blues offensive approach, not trying to do too much. That can be applied to Caginelli right now with 2 strikes.
Middle infield, double play depth. It's Darcy at short, DiCarlo at second. Looking to turn 2, get out of the inning. Top of the 6th, 1 away, tying run at first. Caginelli spins, looks at first, now comes set. He deals, and that's popped up. Right near Matt Spear, the catcher, who takes off the mask, ranges back towards the dugout, and he makes the catch. Faking a tag from first is Goldbranson. He returns back to the bag, out number 2.
Yeah, it's like we talked about, getting the soft contact. He's got 2 of them so far in this inning. Caginelli does. Those have both been the 2 outs.
So now back to the top of the order. Connor Bradshaw, a tough hitter, looming. He's had a tough day as well. He's 0 for 3. A ground ball back to Cunningham to start the game. A strikeout in the 3rd. Fly out to left back in the 5th. Still got the tying run at first. It might only take 1 hit for the Saints to tie this one back up. They got the top of the order up, and Bradshaw takes a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. The Blues searching for their first win against the Saints here in the summer of 2023. A year after going 5-1 against Arroyo Seco, they're 0-5 so far through 5 contests. Ahead 5-4 here as Bradshaw takes high. 2 balls and no strikes. The Saints are the only team in the CCL South the Blues have yet to beat.
You know he's got to eventually come to you or he's going to walk you. Fastball, curveball attack.
2-0 offering. And Bradshaw takes way inside. Spear, a chance now to pick off the runner. He throws down to second. It's a little high. Darcy cannot apply the tag. They had the runner at first. Goldbrinson caught up in between bases, and he still manages to take second.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there with on that play. I think Matt Spear didn't realize it until last second, tried to rush the throw over to Cody Darcy. He had to jump up and get it, come back down with the tag. It's not in time.
So now you've got the tying run in scoring position. A 3-0 count on Bradshaw. And Bradshaw takes a fastball for a strike. Goldbrinson was far enough off the bag that if Spear went to first, he would have been able to backpick him. I think Goldbrinson realized he would be out in that scenario, so he just decided to try for second. And Spear, not an accurate enough throw. A little too high, and Darcy couldn't tag him out. 3-1. Bradshaw takes well outside. Second walk of the inning, 5th walk of the day for Caginelli. First and second with 2 away.
And the misses have been missing as far as they have when he first came out. Still trying to find a spot that he can hit consistently. It's like we said, Jack, he'll be in the zone and be errant north side. Still trying to hone it in.
Max Blessinger to the plate now. Came in today hitting .326. He's got 7 runs batted in, 0 for 2 with a walk in today's ball game. Came last inning against Caginelli, and he scored a run. 2 runners aboard, 2 outs. And Blessinger takes high, not close. 1 ball and no strikes. How much longer will Dean Traynor sit by and watch Caginelli miss high in the zone? You got Hartford, the righty, seems to be fully warmed up in the pen. 1-0 offering, and Blessinger takes high. It blows Spear back, crossed up on the pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Tying run at second. A good speed with Goldbrinson. You also have Bradshaw, the go-ahead run at first.
I think if we see another pitch that's too high, a conversation with Spear and Caginelli is due.
2-0 on the way. It's outside, not really close. 3 balls and no strikes. Brian Traynor in the bullpen motioning to the dugout. He's got his hat off. He's waving it. Maybe an indication that Hartford's ready. Caginelli, a 3-0 count. He delivers. And that's on the outside corner for a strike, 3-1. A walk would load the bases. Jordan Rogers, the second baseman from Wichita State, is on deck. He's got a walk and a hit. 3-1. Blessinger takes, not close. 3rd walk of the inning. The bases are loaded. And will Dean Traynor emerge from the dugout?
We've seen a lot of non-competitive pitches, especially in this inning. Now it's caught up with Caginelli loading up the bases.
And here comes Traynor. Coming out to the pen, Hartford tosses another warm-up pitch, grabs the water bottle, takes a swig. He'll be entering this game. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The Blues lead it by just the 1. You'll have the tying run at third in the form of Thomas Goldbrinson. Go-ahead run now also in scoring position in Connor Bradshaw. And a tough day for Caginelli. 6 walks and a double allowed. And in comes Hartford. We're going to step away here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Don't go away. Big opportunity for the Saints on the other side of this break. Well, here we go. Big spot here in the 6th. It's a 5-4 game. The tying runs at third for the Saints. And here comes Matt Hartford, the righty from Cuesta College, inheriting a bases-loaded situation with 2 outs. And the 3-hole hitter, Jordan Rogers, up. Hartford kicks and fires. And a fastball a little bit below the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. You've got 3 runners aboard. Goldbrandt's in the tying run at third. Bradshaw, the go-ahead runner, at second. And Max Blessinger also running at first. Jordan Rogers has singled and walked, preparing for the 1-0. Here it comes, and Rogers takes a fastball on the outside corner, 1-1.
And not an easy debut from the right-hander from Cuesta College. 10 to third as his time as a Cougar last year. 5.23 ERA, looking to minimize the damage here.
Trying to get the Blues out of the inning, maintain the lead. 1-1. Rogers takes a slider a little off the plate outside, and he didn't go around. 2-1. Seems like the zone is tightened up here in this big situation. You can make the argument that all 3 pitches out of Hartford so far were strikes.
Yeah, the first pitch fastball that missed low, I feel like that's a call both sides have been getting today.
From the stretch, Hartford delivers, and Rogers takes high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Can't walk here. Gaginelli, who came in previously, walked 6. He walked 3 in this inning. A walk would bring in the tying run and extend the inning for Alex Burge, who's on deck. 3-1 count, hitters count for Jordan Rogers. Here's the pitch, and the fastball's low. It's a tying walk. It's 5-5.
Yeah, that's tough to come in. Making your debut, inheriting a bases-loaded situation, just trying to impress everyone in the stands, including your coaches. It's tough to come back and be successful in that spot.
So now Alex Burge takes the long walk to the plate. The catcher from Wichita State has a double. He's got 3 runs batted in. He also has a single, and he scored a run of his own. So a nice day, a breakout day for the catcher, who was a showcase game selection. Had cooled down coming out of the showcase game break, but heating up today from the cleanup spot. And a chance to untie this game now with Bradshaw, the go-ahead runner, at third. First pitch, and Burge pops it up. Into shallow right. Sam DiCarlo, the second baseman, backs up, throws his arms up to call everyone off, and he makes the catch. So the Blues give up another run, 4 walks in the inning, and the Saints tie it back up. We head to the 7th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-5 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom third of the order here in the bottom of the 6th for the Blues. It's a now 5-5 game after the Saints tied things up here in the top half of the 6th. It'll be Matt Spear to lead things off, followed by Sam DiCarlo, Cody Darcy here in the 6th. Creighton Hansen stays out on the mound for the Saints. The Blues need to take another lead. Spear takes a fastball off the plate outside, 1-0. The San Jose State catcher has struck out looking and grounded out to second. Hansen gave up the home run to Jariah Lewis, but then settled in after 2 straight flyouts and a ground out, and he misses out with another fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. Second inning of work for the righty. Behind the count, 2-0 to Matt Spear. Spear's got big power as well. Both of the Spartans, Lewis and Spear, can tattoo the baseball. And now a 3-0 count.
Yeah, something about San Jose State producing left-handed hitters for power.
The 3-0 home, And Spear takes a cutter on that outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. So now Hansen enters the zone, and a hitter's count for Spear. Blues will take a base runner any way they can get it. And they've got Sam DiCarlo on deck. Singled his last time up. Spear checks his swing, goes around at a fastball. Count full.
Yeah, good placement on that fastball as well. Hansen looks like one of those guys who throws the accidental cutter, the way he's got that 3/4 delivery. That calls for some movement on the fastball.
Here's the payoff. Spear strikes out swinging. So a 3-0 count all the way to a strikeout. Hansen pours in 3 in a row, and that's out number 1 here in the 6th.
Hansen going all the way back, going back to that cutter. Went over the top this time. Intentionally looked like he tried to throw it right through the barrel of Matt Spear.
So here's Sam DiCarlo. DiCarlo has struck out and singled. 1 for 2 day for the Washington Husky. Had a tough day at the plate yesterday. The Golden Sombrero, 4 strikeouts. And struck out his first time up today, but bounced back with the base hit in the 4th inning. 8-hole hitter up here with 1 out in the 6th. Hansen delivers, and DiCarlo takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Blues had a big strikeout problem yesterday. It's kind of continued through this entire league season. 13 Ks in last night's contest. They're averaging now over 10.5 a game. Already today, they've struck out 7 times through 6 1/3. 1-0. DiCarlo takes a curveball in there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, there's no knock on the offense, too, but that's not going to play. Averaging that many strikeouts a game, heading into playoffs as well.
1-1, 1 out here in the 6th. Hansen comes home, and DiCarlo chops it foul. And sometimes in the major leagues, you see teams strike out a lot. They sacrifice the Ks so they can hit for more power. You can't have the strikeouts if you're also not hitting for power, which has been the Blues' MO so far. As they have hit a lot of singles, but the extra base hits have been limited. So strikeouts are not coming with an added benefit. And DiCarlo goes down on strikes for the 2nd time. Burge corrals it, throws to first. Back-to-back strikeouts start the 6th.
Goes downstairs again, Hansen does. Looks like another cutter in the dirt. Sam DiCarlo goes right after it. Has a tendency to go for those pitches lower in the zone. This one skips on top of the plate. Barrel goes right above it.
This would be a huge shutdown inning for Hansen. The Blues have scored in each of the last 2 frames. They had 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, and then another in the 5th. But if Hansen's able to go 1, 2, 3 to the bottom of this Blues order, it would bring the Saints back up with a chance for them to take the lead in the top of the 7th. Hansen delivers, and Darcy pops it up. First pitch swinging, he lifts it into the air. Shallow right, Rogers moves over to his left, calls everyone off, and makes the catch. It's a 1, 2, 3 inning for Creighton Hansen, and the Blues do not get a base runner across. We're heading to the 7th, still 5-5 on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Top of the 7th, middle of the order for the Arroyo Seco Saints. It's Matt Hartford that stays out on the mound for the Blues. He'll face Mason Hammonds, Kite McDonald, Thomas Goldbrinson here in a 5-5 game. Hartford kicks and deals and spots up with a fastball right at the top of the zone for strike one. The batter is Mason Hammonds, the shortstop from Tarleton State. A breakout game for the right-handed hitter. 2 singles and a sacrifice fly. Came in today hitting .268, the average only raising, and he fists this one down past the bag. A long throw from Ricken falling away. Is it in time? It's not. Massiangelo is off the bag. He drops the ball on an excellent effort from JT Ricken.
Wow, I thought Ricken had a shot at this. Falling away down the third base line. Strong throw to first. Was able to put some air underneath, and I think that's a big reason why I got to Massiangelo. Showing off the flexibility once again at first base, but couldn't come down with it with the foot on the bag.
5th straight inning now with a leadoff base runner. It's Hammond's 3rd hit of the game, and now the go-ahead run is aboard here in the 7th. The batter here, Kite McDonald, the right fielder from Wichita State. 2 strikeouts in the fielder's choice. Pitch on the way. McDonald squares to bunt, and he bunts it off himself. So that's strike one. 0-1 the count on the right fielder from Wichita State. And the Saints selling out to take a lead here. Some small ball action for Arroyo Seco. They have taken advantage of the new Blues pitching. And now a meeting between the umpires, maybe to discuss where that ball hit McDonald, whether he was out of the box or not.
Yeah, it's tough to tell from this angle up here in the press box where it got him.
And he stays safe. So it was a quick meeting. The umpires had a clear view. McDonald was still in the box when he was hit with the foul ball. 0-1 the count. Matt Hartford trying to work around the leadoff base hit. Saints trying to take their first lead here today. Hartford from the stretch, runner at first. He kicks and deals. Pitch misses out, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mason Hammonds is 6 for 6 on stolen base attempts at first. A chance maybe for him to steal if McDonald does not bunt him over. Pick to first and diving back in, an errant throw, but Massiangelo jumps over Mason Hammonds. That could have been a disaster for the Blues.
Yeah, good save by Massey, preventing a free 90 that would put Hammonds into scoring position.
Hartford sets below the belt. Runner at first, a 1-1 count. He delivers. And a swing and a chopper on the ground to the right side. Long run for DiCarlo. It clanks off his glove into right field. Coming up with the ball, Blanchett. He unleashes a throw to third. In there is Hammonds. Ricken picks up the ball, and McDonald moves to second. Sloppy play by the Blues. Second and third, and nobody out.
Unfortunate placement there by Sam DiCarlo pre-pitch. He has to travel a longer way than he normally would if he was playing in the standard second base slot. He was pinched up the middle. Difficult to get into that ball, but Blanchett's got to hold on to that throw.
A poor decision from the Fresno City right fielder allows both runners to be in scoring position. Hammonds was going to make it in a third no matter what, but Blanchett's throw allowed McDonald to get to second base. And now you've got the go-ahead run 90 feet away with nobody out. Here's Thomas Goldbrinson, who's got 2 walks, a run scored, was 3 for 5 yesterday. And Goldbrinson lines it off the shin into right field. 1 run in to score. Here comes Kite McDonald. It's a lead for the Saints. It's 7-5 on the first hit of the day by Goldbrinson.
Yeah, not much you can do there on that base hit, although it hurts a little more with the 2 prior to that one. This is a rocket right back up the middle off of Hartford. Clanks off into right field. No one's there. The 2 runs are able to score.
Trainer out to check on Hartford. 3 straight hits here to start the 7th for the Saints, and now they have a 7-5 lead.
It was hit one very hard right back to Hartford, making sure he's okay. Like the lower shin area, always rubbing that left knee.
It always hurts on the joints too, especially if those bruise. Maybe not feeling it as much today, but tomorrow might swell up. Could hurt, and that's on that knee that he's really got to lift up. Luckily for him, it's the front leg, I think, not the back.
Well, he's got to lift up of it, but this is also a knee he's throwing off of. You're throwing your entire body weight into that joint on the left knee. And that's important if you're wanting to bring some more velocity into the ball.
That plant leg. He's going to stay into this game, but the Saints have taken a lead here in the 7th. Their first of the day, 7-5 on 3 straight hits, and Preston Godfrey will come up.
Preston Godfrey up to bat now. Does have a hit in this ball game. fact, the only two Saints that don't have a hit this ball game.
Godfrey has a single, a pop out, and a fly out.
Max Blessinger.
Hartford comes set at the belt, kicks and deals. And Godfrey hits this one in the air, left center field. Long run for the left fielder, Rulli, and he'll get there. In the gap, he makes the catch, spins and throws into the infield, and that's out number one.
Good communication by Rulli out and left. Big hang time on that fly ball. Jacob really doing a good job corralling it, making the spin throw, and getting the first out of the inning.
Now Jared Quant will come up. Not an easy first out for the Blues, but they do put it on the board. Quant, the DH from Hawaii, has struck out, walked and scored, and popped out in this game. Still Goldbrinson at first. Got a stolen base already today and a run scored. Hartford strides and shoots. And a check swing foul off the facing of the dugout for the Saints. No balls and one strike.
Near the hands. Thankful that one didn't catch a finger. Steps in. The runner on first and one out.
Right on left matchup. Quant has killed the Blues so far this season, looking to extend this seventh and continue the rally. 0-1, runner goes, throw pitch is inside, throw from Spear way into center field, completely sailed into Jariah Lewis's glove. It's a stolen base for Goldbrinson and an 0-2 count.
And this isn't a great jump by Thomas Goldbrinson at first base. He's only got one stolen base on the air. Make that two after that attempt. The errant throw goes into center field. Luckily, Goldbrinson stays at second.
So another runner in scoring position for the Saints. RBI opportunity for Quant. He's got 6 on the season. Behind in the count 0-2. Hartford looks back at Goldbrinson. Now brings it home. And Quant takes the changeup low, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That steal really hurts you because now if you get a ground ball here, you can't flip two. You have to work extra hard to get those final 2 outs of this inning.
1-2 the count. Leadoff man Connor Bradshaw is on deck. 1-2 offering, and Quant takes a little off the plate outside.
It was good movement on that 2-seam. Looked like it clipped the upper half part of the zone. I thought that was in there for a strike, but great movement nonetheless on Hartford. Going back to that pitch later.
That was right in that top left corner, right down the plate in the StatCast strike zone. Now 2-2 is well outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We saw a ball earlier in the game, called a ball by Blues pitching, that was in the middle square of the plate.
Oof.
This zone has ebbed and flowed. It's been inconsistently consistent both ways. 3-2. Quant swings and cracks it foul. The count stays full.
Hartford catching a break there. I thought that was a pitch destined for the inner forearm of Quant, but he goes after it and spoils it away.
Maybe swung at ball 4. That's been a common occurrence, ball 4 at least, for the Saints so far today. 7 walks in the last 2 innings. 3 hits here in this frame. Another payoff. And Quant takes strike 3 call. That one's in the zone, and it's strike 3, out number 2.
Yeah, identical spot for that 2-seam that missed for ball 3. He goes right back to it. Once again, good movement. Jared Quant gets caught looking.
So now with 2 outs, Connor Bradshaw, the leadoff man from Pepperdine, will step up. Not a hit yet, but he did have that RBI walk to tie the game in the 6th. 1 walk, and he's 0 for 3. A ground out, a strikeout, and a fly out. Massiangelo over to talk with Hartford. You've got the righty Max Blessinger on deck. Any idea what Massiangelo might be speaking with him about?
I'm not sure what's going on here with that communication over with Massiangelo.
Pitch on the way. Bradshaw swings and taps the changeup back into the glove of Matt Spear, 0-1. The only thing I can really think about is maybe Massiangelo saw that Hartford was close to balking. We saw that a couple times yesterday, so maybe he's telling him, slow down, make sure you come set. But even then, I haven't seen anything from Hartford that would make me think Massiangelo would need to go tell him that.
No.
0-1, 2 outs, runner at second. The Saints have taken the lead here in the inning. The 0-1 home, and Bradshaw takes the changeup below the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. Goldbrinson to lead off second. Right in his back pocket's Cody Darcy. 1-1. Swing and a drive into right field on a line. It bounces in front of Giovanni Blanchette. Goldbrinson will take the long round. Blanchette throws home all the way again. Now Spear goes down to second, and the throw allows the runner to advance for the second time this inning. And now the score 8-5, and Blanchette makes the same mistake. Trading places. Connor Bradshaw into second.
And it's a strong throw from right field. It's on a line, coming out of the hand hot from Giovanni Blanchette, but got to keep it lower, hanging up in the air way too long. That buys time for the run to come in to score. Also buys time for Bradshaw to reach second base. Spears got to get it off quickly, and that throw is not in time either. Interesting slide, too. I don't know if you saw that. Both feet coming in towards second base. I'm not sure what happened, if there was a misplacement on the left foot or what.
Now here's Max Blessinger, a third run across in the inning for the Saints, and Blessinger tattoos this one into left. Falls in front of Rulli, held at third is Connor Bradshaw. The throw goes all the way to home. It's a single for Blessinger. That's the fifth hit of the inning for the Saints. Runners at the corners with two away.
Yeah, last inning in the sixth, it was a different story. Just couldn't find the strike zone, the walk. Now we're living in the strike zone with Hartford, and he just keeps getting hit.
Nobody in the bullpen. This is Hartford's inning, maybe the rest of the game for the Cuesta College righty. He'll have to go through Jordan Rogers here with 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. Rogers has reached his last 3 times up. A single in the fourth, a walk in the fifth, another walk in the sixth. Fourth at bat in as many innings, and Rogers takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. So in what we've deemed a must-win game for the Blues, they had a 3-run lead, and they've squandered it. They trail by 3 now here in the 7th.
That's taking a look at the pitching. We've been trying to figure out what it's going to be coming down the stretch for the Blues as people exiting their time with San Luis Obispo, just trying to string together some type of bullpen.
1-0. Rogers bounces it on the ground. A dive by Mastiangelo. It bounces off him to DiCarlo. He makes the underhand flip, not in time. Another run in. That's the 6th hit of the inning. It's 9-5, and still 2 runners on.
Yeah, and hats off to Mastiangelo trying to make that dive there. Just couldn't quite come down with it. An unusual effort for the first baseman. And unfortunately for DiCarlo, it's a very slow spin. He has to come and make the play on it. Hartford just can't get to first base in time before the ball rolls into DiCarlo's glove. It's another run for the Saints.
The wheels are falling off for the Blues, some by fault of their own, sometimes it's a little bit unlucky, but 9 runs in the last 2 2/3 for the Saints, and they just continue to pile on. Another chance now for Alec Burge. Burge has 2 hits today, 3 RBI, a run scored. 2 runners aboard, and Burge takes a first pitch fastball on the inside corner, no balls and 1 strike.
Doing it with 2 outs, too. That one hurts a little extra, just trying to get 1. You just can't seem to get lucky or have anything go your way.
Blessinger at second, Rogers at first. 0-1 on the way, and Burge swings and misses at the changeup, no balls and 2 strikes. From 4-1 to 9-5, the Blues behind here in the 7th. A 4-run inning here for Arroyo Seco, and they're not quite done yet. Trying to add on. Still the 2 runners aboard with 2 outs. 0-2 the count as Hartford comes set. He kicks and deals, and he got him. Fastball in the inside corner for strike 3. 2 strikeouts, but 6 hits allowed by Hartford. 4 runs for the Saints. We head to the bottom of the 7th, and the Blues trail it for the first time. welcome you back here to Sinsheimer Stadium, bottom of the 7th, and the Blues now trail it by 4. A big inning for Arroyo Seco here in the top half of the frame, and the Blues bring the top of the order up, down by 4 runs. Jacob Rulli, Giovanni Blanchette, Jariah Lewis due up. The 3 outfielders for the Blues against Creighton Hansen, who stays out. Hansen sets, deals, and Rulli takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. The Blues left fielder has walked twice today and struck out.
Different look for the Blues offense heading into this inning. They're tied, and the last time they're up to bat, now trailing by 4 runs.
1-0. Rulli takes high, 2 balls and no strikes. Certainly not an insurmountable lead. We have seen the Saints come back from down 3 in this game, and the Blues have 3 more innings offensively at the very least to come back from 4. But seems like the win kind of out of the sails of the Blues as they were up 4-1. They now trail 9-5.
They can't let it get too out of the sails. Can't abandon the plan that they talked about pregame today. Keeping the swings minimalistic and just wanted to put the bat in the ball some way.
Rulli takes inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Seems like the bullpen is going, and it's Jason Hansen who's warming up for the Blues. 3-1. Rulli takes off the plate, and that's ball 4. And now the strike is, that's unbelievable. You got to be kidding me. That was the latest strike call I've ever seen.
Yeah, come on now. You got to call that earlier.
It's almost that like Rulli thought he was going to call the strike, so he stayed in the box. And then he realized he was going to have the walk, and the umpire's like, well, he's here.
I mean, we need to see a timer on that. It was like 6 seconds before he called it.
3-2. And now Rulli strikes out. An unreal way to start the 7th, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, it's hard not to get that in your head if you're Jacob Rulli chasing after that slider lower in the zone. That's really frustrating.
Well, he thought he had his 3rd walk. Everyone in the stadium did. But instead, it's his 2nd strikeout of the game. And now with 1 away, here's Giovanni Blanchette. Strikeout looking, a fly out, and a ground out. First pitch, and Blanchette swings and misses, no balls and 1 strike. The Blues had that shutdown inning offensively their last time up. Hansen struck out 2 hitters, and then got Darcy to pop out on 1 pitch. 0-1. Blanchette takes the slider low, 1 ball and 1 strike. So I was wondering why Jason Hansen wasn't in the starting lineup today. I guess it's because he's the closer.
Hey, Yuba College, Male Athlete of the Year. Might see it getting to work today.
1-1. Blanchette takes the curveball down in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike. The Blues got 4 scoreless innings from position players yesterday. So that definitely, with a position player warming up, doesn't mean the game's over. But just the optics of the Blues using position players to fill meaningful innings for the 2nd straight game. That's outside to Blanchette, 3-1 the count. Hansen stares in for his sign, 3-1 the count. Here's the offering, and Blanchette takes way outside. It's a walk for Blanchette with 1 away.
That's a good base runner to have on there. Another athletic Blue getting awarded first base. I haven't seen a stolen base attempt yet this season for Giovanni, but maybe we'll see it here. Trying to get something cooking, down by 4 runs.
The batter will be Jariah Lewis. Lewis's last time up took Hansen deep to right field. His 2nd league home run, knocked himself in to give the Blues a 5-4 lead. Since then, 5 unanswered run for the Saints. Lewis is 1 for 2, a walk, a homer, and a strikeout. Blanchette leads off first. Creighton Hansen working from the stretch. 1 away here in the 7th inning. Pitch on the way, and Lewis takes a curveball off the plate inside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. Hansen takes a glance back at Blanchette, and now he deals. And Lewis takes in the dirt. A nice athletic block by Burge, and that keeps Blanchette at first base.
It's a good job keeping it in front for Burge, throwing the body on the line, preventing Blanchette from taking second.
1 away here in the 7th inning. Blues trail it by 4, trying to beat the Saints for the first time this year, but Arroyo Seco looking to continue the dominance with their 4-run lead. 2-0. That's in the dirt as well. Burge, another nice scooting block to keep it in front, but another 3-ball count.
Burge isn't budging. He's not going to let Blanchette get to second base for free. Another great block.
And you can't help but think if Rulli got the walk that he felt like he deserved and we felt like he deserved, a walk here would load the bases. Instead, a 3-0 count. Chance for the Blues to get 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. Hansen deals, and that's outside. It's a walk for Lewis. Back-to-back bases on balls for the Blues. Runners at first and second with 1 away.
And there's something. You got 2 guys with speed now on the base pass at first and second. JT Ricken, who's seen the ball awfully well today, double and a RBI single today, barreling it up well.
Meeting at the mound incoming, there is a lefty warming up in the pen for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Hansen has run into a little bit of trouble here in his 3rd full inning of work. 2 walks here back-to-back against the Blues. And Hansen, a guy that has dealt with some command struggles this summer. Looking through that in the 7th. The batter will be JT Ricken. It's Reese Marley who's up in the pen for the Saints.
And Ricken, if I'm Ricken, I'm just thinking, doing the same thing you've been doing all day today. Don't got to change it up too much. Keep going into the box with the same exact mindset you've had.
Ricken has a double, a single, 2 runs scored. He's 2 for 3. He's been the main key cog in the Blues offense today. And he's come up in a big situation. And who knows, maybe this meeting just buying some time for the lefty. Maybe the lefty will face Massiangelo. But staying in the game is Hansen. It'll be Ricken coming to the plate. On the Blues, a chance here to maybe spark a rally and come back down 4.
6:05. 6:05. That's very important. You don't want to make them show up faster than they have to. 6:05. Crowds will start at that time. Shortly before, Ben and I will be.
Blanchett at second, Lewis at first. 1 out. Here's JT Ricken with Hansen trying to battle around the walks. And he deals a first pitch fastball high and in. 1 ball and no strikes. And Hansen's got to be careful about balking. That was a very close set call there. It didn't really look like he fully came to a stop.
Yeah, maybe coming to a bit of a rushing moment here for Hansen.
1-0. Longer pause here. A look to second. Now he deals. And Ricken takes in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. And Massiangelo on deck. Only 1 out here in the inning. 4 runs in the top half of this frame for the Saints. And the Blues looking to answer back. Beat Arroyo Seco for the first time this summer. They'll need some key hits. 2-0 the count on the Blues' third baseman. Here's the pitch. And Ricken taps it foul. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, big old swing on the fastball, especially sitting 2-0. He got excited. It was a pitch that he loved. Just trying to crank it down the left field line. Seen already the abandonment of the plan earlier today. Still got time, though. He went the opposite way for his first hit. That was a good mindset there. I'm sure Ricken is wanting to go back to that, especially in a situation with 2 runners on and 1 out.
2-1 the count. Ricken 2 for 3, an extra base hit and a single. Hansen delivers, and Ricken cracks it on the ground to third. Moving over to his left, Goldbrinson goes to second for 1. No throw from the second baseman, Rogers. So the fielder's choice, runners at the corners, now 2 outs.
The combination of Ricken's speed and Rogers coming in too hot towards second base. There was really no chance at getting the third baseman out.
So now Matt Massiangelo will come up. Nice response there from Hansen after back-to-back walks. He'll try and get the Blues' first baseman here to end the 7th inning. Massiangelo was 0 for 3. Average has now dropped below 300. He's grounded out to second, popped out to third, and flew out to left. First pitch of the at-bat, Massiangelo ropes it on the ground foul down the first base line, 0-1.
And once again, that inside pitch, Massiangelo, he's going to be ready for it. Just a little too early on that. Could have added on some more runs for the Blues if it stayed down the line, but it goes foul.
Team leading 9 runs batted in for Massiangelo. SLO, even if they can't score all 4 runs this inning, a chance for them to scratch back. And Massiangelo takes the changeup low, 1 ball and 1 strike. We saw the Blues in yesterday's contest. They failed an opportunity to score a runner at third when they were down by 2. Ended up coming back to bite them later in the game. They did force extra innings, but here's a chance to at least pick up 1 run as they trail it by 4. 1-1. And Massiangelo takes the curveball low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of answer for the 4 spot that was just given up by the Blues at the top of this inning. Got to come back with at least 1.
The 2-1 home. And Massiangelo takes low again. 3 balls and 1 strike. A walk would load the bases and bring up Jake Bold, who'd represent the tying run. Blues ready to run with the crack of the bat. You've got Blanchette at third, JT Ricken at first. Hansen set above the belt. The righty delivers. And he misses inside with a curveball. It's another walk, and the bases are loaded.
I'm not sure what Creighton Hansen was wanting there. He was surprised at that call. I thought it almost clipped Massiangelo. He gets that walk, and yeah, now bases loaded for Jake Bold. The guy who's got some juice has the opportunity to bust it open for SLO.
So we'll see whether Hansen will stay in. You've got the lefty warming up. Don't really want to give the Blues the platoon advantage with the righty at the plate. So Hansen stays out. This is an important at-bat, maybe the biggest of the game here for the Blues. Bottom 7th, bases loaded, tying run at the plate. And Bold checks his swing at a fastball. Did not go around. 1 ball and no strikes. Bold can't be too big with his swing here. While he does have the power to tie it with 1 swing, got to try and find a way to at least score 1 or 2. 1-0. And Bold swings out of his shoes at a slider in the dirt. 1-1. Bases juiced. Blanchette at third. Ricken at second. Massiangelo at first. Hansen, who's been struggling with his command, needs to be careful. Can't afford a walk, a hit by pitch, or a wild pitch here with the bases loaded. 1-1. Another big swing from Bold, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Bold knows it too. He was one of the guys who was talking to me in the dugout about the new approach that the Blues are having with the shortened up swing. So far, he hasn't followed up on his word on the 2 very big cuts in this at bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The offering, and Bold takes a slider outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A nice 2-strike offering by Hansen, but Bold was not biting.
Yeah, good discipline there by today's DH and Jake Bold. Wanted to call time. A little too late though.
Trying to mess with the timing of Hansen. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs. Bases loaded as the Blues trail it by 4. Hansen comes home, and Bold takes outside. So now you've got a full count. Burge will go out to talk with Hansen. The Blues will run, all 3 runners. Blanchette at third, he'll take off for home. Ricken will take off for third from second. Massiangelo will be on the move from first. And Jake Bold, got to figure he's getting a pitch to hit.
Yeah, you got to figure that. I mean, he just got another enticing fastball there that he was able to lay off of. Now he's got to come to him.
And Hansen, who came set real quick, makes Bold call time. Bold is taking his time before this ever-important 3-2 pitch. Bases loaded, Bold the tying run. Hansen delivers, and Bold takes. Strike 3 call. Right down the middle with a fastball on that outside corner, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. Maybe a little low as the fans boo, but that's the end of the 7th. We head to the 8th, still 9-5 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Well, we got another position player on the mound for the Blues. A 4-run game here in the 8th, and Jason Hansen takes over on the mound. It has been a tough game so far for the Blues. They led it by as many as 3 runs. Now they trail it by 4. They send another position arm to the hill. Jason Hansen, the first of the day. He'll face Mason Hammonds, Kite McDonald, Thomas Goldbrinson. First pitch bounced on the ground to short. In comes Cody Darcy. He gloves on the throw hand, a sling across to first in time for the out. Hansen, who's heading to UC Davis, is the most recent position player to take the hill. That fastball was 77 and got the ground out. Transferring over from Yuba College, where he was the male athlete of the year, and he will be an Aggie next season. Normally a first baseman. We've seen him at third and in the outfield. First chance on the mound, and he's got one away. The batter will be Kite McDonald. McDonald awaiting the pitch, and Hansen misses low with the fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. The Blues got 4 scoreless innings from 3 different position players yesterday. You had Kate O'Hara, Cody Darcy, as well as TJ Adams. And a swing and a miss. Slowed it up on him a little. 75. 1-1 the count. McDonald has singled and scored. He struck out twice, and he grounded into a fielder's choice. 1-1 offering. That slider's off the plate outside. 2-1 the count. McDonald, the right fielder from Wichita State, at the plate, one out here in the 8th inning. A 9-5 lead for the Saints. 2-1. McDonald hammers it out to deep left. Into the gap. Jariah Lewis chases it to the track, to the wall. It is gone. McDonald hits his 2nd home run. That's the 10th run of the game for the Saints. It's a 5-run lead. So the first run allowed by a position player for the Blues in this series. Hansen gives up the big fly. He hit it 100 miles an hour, 404 feet, and he watched it fly. Here's Thomas Goldbrinson, the third baseman from St. Thomas. He's got a hit and 2 walks, a run scored with an RBI. Now a 10-5 game as Hansen delivers again, and Goldbrinson takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Looked like the Blues were primed to take this must-win game up by 3. Now it may be safe to say this is a Saints win. 2 balls and no strikes, and it's just a tough blow for the Blues because they have played decently well in this series. They've put themselves in some positions to win, but they just don't have the pitching. Swing and a miss down below the zone, 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitching, when the Blues have been able to throw their arms out there, has been good, but bringing in 5 new pitchers, 2 of them that did not pitch well today, in Hartford and Caginelli, and the 4 position innings yesterday. 2-1. Swinging a liner straight back. Just that point in the summer where it's really put up or shut up time for every team, and the Blues on the short end of the stick. 2-2 in count on Goldbrinson, the third baseman from St. Thomas, as Hansen works from the stretch, stares in for his sign, and comes set. He delivers, and that's chopped on the ground to third. Ricken has it on the backhand behind the bag. Long throw, in time to get him. Goldbrinson almost beat it out. He thought he did, but Ricken throws him out for out number 2.
Batting now for the Saints, number 6, Preston Godfrey.
So Preston Godfrey comes to the plate. 2 outs now in the inning. Godfrey, the left fielder from New Mexico State, has singled and stolen a base. Since then, he's been out all 3 times. Pop out, a fly out, another fly out. First pitch of the at-bat, and Godfrey chases the changeup. Pulled the string on him at 62. It's no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 on the way, and Godfrey leaves this one below the zone. Hansen went right back to the breaking pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I have heard rumors that the intern will be hopping in cages. I've been working on my fumble ball skills.
1-1 offering. Godfrey takes off the plate, maybe a little bit high. That was another one of the breaking pitches right down the top of the zone in the StatCast strike zone, but called a ball. someone get Jason Hansen a little bit of help. 2-1. And Godfrey takes it inside, back to the fastball. It's 3-1. The only rule, I'm sure, for the Blues position players is go in and throw strikes. Hansen's done so far, but he's behind in the count here, 3-1. He deals. And a swing and a pop-up into center. In comes Jariah Lewis. Still jogging in. He makes the catch for the final out. A home run for the Saints. It's 10-5 as we head to the bottom of the 8th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Reese Marley, the lefty, in here in the bottom of the 8th to face Matt Spear. A 10-5 lead for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Bottom of the order coming up for the Blues. Spear, DeCarlo, and Darcy. And just, it looks like the umpire's got something in his eye as Marley went ranging off the mound. Left-on-left matchup here to start the 8th inning. And the Blues who led by as many as 3 runs earlier in this game, now trail it by 5. Reese Marley from Case Western Reserve University has a 2.77 earned run average across his first 13 league innings. 4 walks, 13 strikeouts, and Matt Spear bounces the first pitch, shallow to second. In comes Rogers. He slings it across in time for the out. So 1 pitch, 1 away here in the 8th. Now the batter will be Sam DeCarlo. The Blues out of a playoff spot after yesterday's loss, a half game back of the Conejo Oaks. And the Oaks, who have 2 more games against the Barons, including one tonight, maybe a chance to extend that lead that they've got. Check across. And the Oaks and the Barons right now in the top of the 3rd, tied 0-0. I'm not sure, with the Blues having such a tough, grueling schedule, how much they can afford to fall a game and a half back if the Oaks were to win today as well, and the Blues end up losing today. Sam DeCarlo takes off the plate outside with a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. DeCarlo has struck out twice and single. Marley kicks and fires. Swinging a tapper foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes, or 1 strike. Marley's a 5-foot, 1,190-pound left-hander. Clearwater Beach, Florida native. 21-year-old deals, and a swing and a miss by Sam DeCarlo. 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeCarlo's had a lot of those swings today where he's chasing the changeup or the curveball down in the dirt, and just not the greatest eye right now of the height of pitches. Chasing in the dirt yet again, 1-2. 1-2 offering, And DiCarlo takes right down the middle, strike 3 call. The fastball right over the heart of the plate. It's first strikeout for the new lefty Marley, and there's 2 away. 11 strikeouts now for the Blues on offense after a 13 strikeout game yesterday. So now they're above the season average, where they came in today averaging 10.5 strikeouts per game, the most for a single team in the entire CCL when it comes to strikeouts per game. And now the pitch on the way. It's in the dirt to Cody Darcy. 1 ball and no strikes. 11 strikeouts, and it's just really been a big issue for the Blues, especially as of late. Darcy has struck out today. He's also singled and popped out. Marley delivers, and Darcy takes a slider off the plate outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So a 5-run deficit for the Blues. They've got Darius Price warming up in the bullpen. The 5-run deficit might be a tough task for the Blues to come back and win this one. 2-0 the count. Pitch on the way, and Darcy takes inside with a changeup. 3-0 the count. On deck is Jacob Rulli, the top of the order for the Blues. They had Jason Hansen throw the top half of this inning, and it looks like in the 9th it'll be another position player. 3-0. Swinging a drive into center, heading back as a center fielder. Bradshaw still going back, and it bounces past him towards the track. Darcy slowed down. There's nobody at second. Otherwise, he might have been out. It's a double with 2 outs for Cody Darcy, and the Blues have a runner in scoring position. 3-0 swinging, and Cody Darcy picks up a double. Now here's Jacob Rulli coming up.
Hey, you're down 5 runs in a ball game.
Nice work out there.
2-out double there. We got some nice spice on.
Now batting for the Blues, number 25, Jacob Rulli.
Jacob Rulli steps up, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. The last time we saw Rulli, he thought he had ball 4. It was the latest strike call we've ever seen, really, this season. And Rulli ended up striking out in that at-bat. But he comes up now with Darcy at second as Marley steps off, takes the rubber again. Runner at second, 2 outs. The new lefty looks to second, now brings it home. And Rulli takes in the dirt to the backstop. Past Burge, the catcher. 90 feet, moves Darcy, and now a runner at third. A look back at the score between the Oaks and the Barons. Now it's the top of the 4th inning. The Barons have a 3-1 lead. That would be huge for the Blues if the Barons are able to take down the Oaks. It was a 3-run frame for the Academy. The Blues will go there tomorrow as well. So they will face the Barons out in Compton for a doubleheader. And they'd love if the Barons are able to steal a game from the Oaks. That's a strike. The Barons are 14.5 games back of first place. They're 5-22. They've lost 12 in a row. But a chance here for them to beat the Oaks. That pitch is on the outside corner. Of course, long way to go there in that game, but it would be huge. It would make this loss hurt a lot less for the Blues if the Oaks dropped the game as well. 1-2. Rulli strikes out swinging. So Marley picks up a K, ends the 8th. We're heading to the 9th. Another position player on the mound for the Blues in a 10-5 game. Top of the ninth from Sinsheimer Stadium, 9-1-2 due up. It's Jason Hansen who's staying on the mound. Hansen deals into Quant, and he misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. A 10-5 game here, and the Blues have another position player on the hill. Hansen gave up a home run in the 8th and continues on the hill here in the 9th. Jared Quant looking for his first hit of the ball game. 2 balls and no strikes. The DH from Hawaii has walked, popped out, and struck out twice. 2-0. Changeup is down low from Hansen. 3 balls and no strikes. So we've seen a couple of pitches from Hansen, a fastball that's been up to 77 and a low 60s changeup. Hansen delivers, and Quant takes a fastball right down the middle for a strike. Hansen re-enters the zone, 3-1. Quant is the only hitter in the lineup for the Saints that is without a hit. Arroyo Seco's got 13 base knocks on the day. Quant still looking for his first. 3-1. And he takes outside. It's in a walk. His second of the day, and another runner for the Saints. So Quant, a leadoff base on balls. Now back to the top of the order for Arroyo Seco. It'll be the 6th plate appearance for Connor Bradshaw. The center fielder from Pepperdine has a walk, a hit, a run scored. He's 1 for 4. First pitch to Bradshaw, and Bradshaw takes in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. So Hansen threw a lot of strikes his first inning. A little bit more erratic out of the strike zone here in the 9th. A 1-0 count. Blues is trying to end this one, put themselves out of their misery. Down by 5 as Bradshaw swings, bounces it to second, could be 2. DiCarlo, the overhand flip to second for 1. Back to first, a double play. So nice job from Hansen there to roll 2. Now 2 away here in the 9th. That's the 3rd of the 4 different position players to pitch for the Blues that's rolled a double play. Who knows, maybe it's that 62-mile-an-hour changeup. One of the best double play pitches on the team, I guess. So now 2 outs. Max Blessinger, the batter. Blessinger has walked twice and singled. You're looking ahead to the 9th inning. The Blues will have Giovanni Blanchette, Jariah Lewis, JT Rickendew up, but it'll take a miracle. At the very least, 5 runs as Blessinger towers a fly ball into left. Jacob Bruley makes the catch, and that's the 9th inning. We head to the bottom half of the frame. Blues need 5 to tie, 6 to win before they head on the road here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bottom of the 9th for the Blues. The Saints 3 out away from improving to 6-0, and here might be out number one. A ground ball to first. Blessinger takes the bag himself, and Blanchette is down on one pitch. The Blues are 0-5 against the Saints so far this summer. They're down by 5 here in the final game of this homestand. And now Marley needs just 2 more away here in the 9th inning. It'll be Jariah Lewis coming to the plate. Just a tough turn of events for the Blues. They've been, all things told, pretty good over the last couple of weeks. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. They're 3-4 since the break. But this will be their 5th straight loss to the Saints. And the last couple about to be swept again by Arroyo Seco. Over the last 2 weeks, with the Blues 6-4, they'll be 6-5 across their last 11 games. 4 of those losses to the Saints. 1-0, and Lewis takes a breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1. Lewis has walked twice. He's also hit a homer, so a good day for Jariah. Maybe a silver lining heading into the doubleheader tomorrow. That Lewis, who is the lone center fielder left on this roster, the bat could be waking up. As he swings here and lines one into center. Another hit for Jariah Lewis as it falls in front of Bradshaw. Lewis takes the turn around first, but he'll stop there. That's a one-out single for Jariah Lewis. So the Blues really just looking for any semblance of silver linings, things to take, so momentum to build heading in to that road stretch where the next 5 games will all be on the road for the Blues. But it's hard to look past the losses against Arroyo Seco. Really, even if the Blues turned the 6 games and they split them with the Saints, the record would look drastically different. Instead, if they lose today, they'll fall to 12-15, as that's in there for a strike to JT Ricken. If you even it out, say they even go 3-3, maybe 2-4, the record really could be above 500 for the Blues. Instead, they're going to be watching. They might not make the playoffs. 1-0-2 the count now to JT Ricken. Check back against the Barons and the Oaks. Those 2 teams playing each other. A big game for the Blues because they do trail the Oaks for that last playoff spot. It's still 3-1 Academy. 0-2. And Ricken fights it into right. A line drive that hangs up for McDonald, the right fielder. He comes up throwing into first. Lewis almost doubled off. Lewis was lagging, just jogging back to the bag, and McDonald almost picked him off. So the effort lacking here for the Blues in the 9th. Just a lackadaisical performance here today. They led it by a score of 4-1. Since then, they've been outscored 9-1. So now here's Matt Massiangelo, the first baseman, has a walk today. He's 0 for 3. Still looking for his first hit. He's the last hope for the Blues here in the 9th. Reese Marley comes home, and Massiangelo takes a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. That pitch was right down the middle on the StatCast strike zone. I don't know what's been going on with the strike zone so far in this series, but it's just been so erratic. And that one should have been a strike, even to the Blues. And that pitch off the plate outside. Ball call for a real this time. 2 balls and no strikes. Marley, the lefty, comes set. Working for the third base side of the rubber, he deals. And Massiangelo bends back out of the way of a curveball. Also should have been a strike. It's 3 balls and no strikes. That one, again, you see some pitches that are half in the strike zone, half out. That baseball was fully in the StatCast strike zone, and it's called a ball. Marley delivers, and Massiangelo takes one right down the middle for a strike, 3-1. So this time Marley gets the benefit of the call. 3-1 the count on the Blues first baseman. Trying to extend the game for Jake Bold, who's on deck. Jariah Lewis gets a lead off first. Left-on-left matchup here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Pitch on the way, and that one's in there for a strike as well. And that baseball completely out of the K zone and called for a strike. So maybe it's some redemption, as Reese Marley should have had strikes earlier in the at-bat, but that one had no business being a strike. So Massiangelo had tossed his bat all the way to the dugout. Now he's recollecting himself. A 3-2 count. 2 outs here in the 9th. Marley set just below his chin. He deals, and Massiangelo bounces it on the ground. Foul down the first base line. He stays alive. And we know umpiring is a hard job, and it's not like one team has been singled out with the bad calls in this series. But it's just been so poor and inconsistent that it's hard to watch and not comment. And it's gone both ways. It's not like the Blues have more of a complaint than the Saints, but it's really been tough. 3-2, and Mastiangelo takes outside. That one about a foot outside, so the right call. And Mastiangelo walks to extend the ball game. First and second with 2 outs. So Jake Bold steps up. You've got Lewis at second, Mastiangelo at first. Bold, the Princeton catcher, has reached on an error. He's struck out and grounded out twice. An 0-for-4 day for Bold. Pitch on the way, and Bold takes the changeup below the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Maybe the Blues a couple more base runners. They've got a chance to potentially bring the tying run up to the plate, but it'll take a lot of work, and it would take 5 runs with 2 outs here in the ninth. Marley steps off. Still a 1-0 count on Jake Bold. The 1-0 offering, and Bold takes low again. 2 balls and no strikes. It would be an unprecedented rally if the Blues were able to come back and win this one. A game, another long one between these two teams, nearing 3.5 hours here from Sinsheimer Stadium. 7:20 p.m. here on the West Coast, and the crowd's still into it. 2-0. Bold takes outside. 3 ball, no strike count. Matt Spear, the catcher from San Jose State, is on deck. The lefty wanting to hit here in the ninth. Marley sets, 3-0. And Bold takes a fastball right down the middle for a strike. It's 3-1. Bold has only reached base once. It was on the error by Hammonds back in the 4th. He ended up scoring that inning as well. 3-1. Bold swings and lines it foul down the right field line. Behind on the fastball, 3-2. Fastball came in at 87. It was perfectly placed right down the middle of the zone, and Bold just a little bit behind. So the count moves full. The Blues runners will take off. It's Lewis at second, Mastiangelo at first. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Payoff pitch. Bold shoots it foul again. Count stays full. Jake Bold trying to extend the game. You got his catching partner, Matt Spear, on deck. In the hole, if the Blues were able to get it there, it's Sam DiCarlo, who, if he comes up in this inning, he'd be the tying run. And time is called by Bold. Marley taking a little bit too long, taking too many looks at second, so Bold grabs himself another 10 or so seconds. Steps into the back of the right-hand batter's box. Another 3-2 incoming. Marley shakes twice. Here's his offering. Bold takes high and draws the walk. So the bases are loaded. Blues still a long way to go, but they have gotten 3 base runners here in the ninth. And now a meeting at the hill. A coach quickly emerges from the Saints dugout. It'll be Aaron Milam to meet with Reese Marley. An empty bullpen for the Saints. So this is Marley's ninth, whether he likes it or not. All he needs to do is get 1 out before the Blues score 5 runs, but they've got the bases loaded. The Oaks have brought across another run out at the Youth Academy. The Barons still lead it by a score of 3-2, but the Oaks threatening to come back in the game. It was a sacrifice fly by Drew Smith. Got to keep an eye on that game, and basically every game with the Oaks the rest of the way. Conejo, a game or half a game up on the Blues for that last playoff spot. If the Blues lose this one, it'll be a full game for the Oaks. If the Oaks go on to win, it would be a game and a half. So Spear will step up. You got the bases loaded. Lewis is at third. Mastiangelo's at second. Jake Bold's at first. And a left-on-left matchup. Matt Spear to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, 2 ground outs to second. Marley, after the meeting, comes set on the third base side of the rubber. The lefty with a long pause, strides and shoots, and Spear bounces the first pitch foul. No balls and 1 strike. Fastball at 85 on that outer half to Spear. 1-1 the count now. Blues will need a miracle here in the 9th. They just need to keep the inning going. Big hole up the middle for Matt Spear with the bases loaded. The 0-1 offering. Spear bounces it on the ground, in the hole, up the middle for a base hit. In to score is Lewis. Right behind him, Mastiangelo. 2 runs for the Blues, and now all of a sudden the tying run coming to the plate. That's Spear's 3rd and 4th RBI. It's 10-7, and now with 3 runners aboard, Sam DiCarlo, who's got some pop, the tying run. Spears at first, Bolds at second. Sam DiCarlo, who has struck out 3 times, also has a single today, comes to the plate. He had a handful of home runs at Washington as a freshman, 7 to be exact, and he's got 1 so far here for the Blues. Trying to keep the rally going. Now a 10-7 game. And DiCarlo lifts the first pitch high down the right field line, hooking foul past the bullpen. No balls and 1 strike. So a nice swing by the Washington Husky. Just not enough and not in fair territory, so an 0-1 count. Blues have 2 runners aboard, 2 runs across here in the 9th. Bold at second, Spear at first, tying run at the dish. 0-1 the count on Sam DiCarlo. Singled in the 4th, other than that, 3 strikeouts. Marley sets at the letters, he deals, and DiCarlo hits a high drive to center, ranging back as a center fielder, Bradshaw, and it hangs up. A little too much loft, and that's the ball game. Bradshaw collects out number 3. It's a 10-7 final, and the Saints, for the 3rd time this year, have swept the Blues. Arroyo Seco moves to 6-0 against the San Luis Obispo Blues, and they continue their path through the CCL South. The Blues drop this one, a final score of 10-7, and a heartbreaking series. After the extra inning loss yesterday, the Blues just could not get the pitching going today. They had to throw position players again, new debuts that did not pay off, and it's a 3-run deficit and a loss for the Blues. A 10-7 final as the Blues end the homestand with a sweep at the hands of the Saints, and they'll head on the road tomorrow to the Academy Barons. A doubleheader tomorrow, a day off on Monday, and then an overnight trip starting on Tuesday as the Blues will leave Sinsheimer and take the long road ahead. For Nate Mills, I've been Jack Smith saying thank you for watching another rendition of Blues Baseball here on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. We'll have you for 2 7-inning games tomorrow against the Barons, the first one starting at 12 p.m.